Hey, Game Informer audience. Welcome to part 3 of our Mortal Kombat 9 Super Replay. My name is Marcus Stewart. I am joined as always by Kyle Hilliard. How you doing, sir?
Hello, I'm good. Ready to do some combating. I don't know. Is that what people say?
That's what the fans say. I say it every time I boot up MK1. And we're joined by a special guest, a rare third chair for Super Replay. Screen Rant's training coordinator, and game reviewer Chris Teuton. How you doing, sir?
Hello, happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
And I guess your third title is a big Mortal Kombat fan. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I've been playing Mortal Kombat since it came out back in 1992, and I have like a Mortal Kombat arcade cabinet there. I still have this that I found and brought out for this, which is part of the DLC. Where's the camera? This is part of the DLC.
Yeah.
Super pre-order edition for the game that you're playing right now that I still have from 2011.
Wait,
Yeah.
is it just one?
They were like bookends.
Okay.
Yeah, no, the Sub-Zero is up there holding something up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like that'd be weird if they just gave you one bookend.
you have to buy the game twice. That's how to get you. Yeah, okay. Before we dive into it, and the reason I'm not firing it up because the story mode just goes as soon as you hit and like play basically. But I'm interested, Chris. What's your history with this game? Like, what are your thoughts on it? And I would like to know, like, what's your favorite MK in general?
I think this game would. That's a toss-up because like Mortal Kombat Deception, which I also have right here. Mortal Kombat Deception. This is probably my favorite Mortal Kombat game.
Good
just
choice.
Because of the amount of content that it has. Like the Conquest mode in Mortal Kombat Deception is probably like my favorite mode in any fighting game ever. Street Fighter 6 that just came out like this year, that has the only thing that's ever really come close to it. But like there's so much stuff packed into that game, and I think is this the one with carts or Tetris? No, this is the one with chess combat and puzzle combat. So you have conquest mode, puzzle combat, and chess combat, along with everything else in the trip. Like, when you compare the amount of content in a game like this to like Mortal Kombat 1, it's just really sad to see like how much stuff isn't there. But
and they've never really gotten back to that too.
No, they've just kind of done less and less as it went on. Mortal Kombat goes through cycles where they kind of grow and grow and grow in like a 3 or 4 game span, and then they get too like over the top and have to reset and do everything over again. Yeah. And we're kind of seeing that like again here, but this was the first time it happened was Mortal Kombat 1, which came after Armageddon, or Mortal Kombat 2011, which came after Armageddon.
Right.
And like it was just like, okay, remember all that stuff we did with the 3D fighters? That was bad. We're sorry. we'll go back to 2D fighting, and we'll make it fun again. And this was probably like the most fun Mortal Kombat game to actually fight in.
Yeah, it's funny because like MK1 has kind of gone back and be like, actually, some of those characters from those 3D games were all right. We're gonna bring them back.
Yeah, it's very strange how they like decided for 2 games. It's like, no, they're going to age and they'll grow and they'll have kids, and then the kids will be the new fighters. And then in MK1 they're just like, or just that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Is that because just like none of them really resonated in a big
Well,
way? Or?
I'd say 1 out of 4. Like Cassie Cage, people liked a lot. I think she's
talking about her.
Yeah, I think she's easily the standout of the 4 of them. Like I like Cassie a lot, actually. I like. What do you say, Chris?
I like Cassie. I kind of like all of them. Takeda and Kung Jin are both very interesting characters, and
yeah. Oh wait, Takeda's in 1.
Yeah, well, not yet.
Or he's going to be. Yeah. So I guess
he'll be DLC.
He's coming back. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is, but the way that they did 1, they can bring anybody back. Which it seems like what they're intending to do. The thing about 1 that's so disappointing is that there's no new characters at all.
Right.
Like, even if the kids didn't resonate, at least they were still like trying something new. And even Mortal Kombat 11, like in Aftermath, even though like they were mostly kind of starting to regress and go back into time stuff, it still had a few new characters, and this 1 has 0.
Yeah. And we'll see with like DLC, and I guess maybe the mentality is like, well, these are new versions of those characters, so some of them are new again, depending on your interpretation of new. It's like, okay, like maybe they're like, we're doing some new things with these characters, so we're gonna start there, and then whatever Mortal Kombat 2 is, whatever we're gonna call it again, we'll throw in
also,
like
it's just hard in fighting games to get hype about a new character, right? Like you know what I mean? Nothing's gonna outdo showing Raiden. You know, it's like does that make, you know, that, I mean, every fighting
like
game
these are such
struggles with
legacy
that, you know?
characters, and they're so popular that it's sort of the catch-22 of fighting games, where like if you bring back everyone and introduce no new people get mad. But then if you go like maybe the Street Fighter 3 route, where the original version of the game was like all new characters and just kind of Ryu, everyone was like, whoa, where's all our favorites? What the hell? You know?
There's no winning, really.
Yeah, there's a delicate balance you kind of have to hit there.
I think in the past, Mortal Kombat has been very good at kind of like, okay, for the like 60 to 70% of the roster is returning, and then that remaining 30% is new, and then that they'll just like, oh, did you like this one? Well, maybe we'll keep that one, and then we'll throw in a couple new ones. And oh, I see nobody really played like Natara, for instance, so we'll just never bring up vampires again.
Not until Megan Fox gets her hands on her. But anyways, you guys ready to jump back into this wild story? I guess for a recap, Kyle, this is for you mainly, because I don't think I don't think you read the book report while we were gone. But back in time, we're in Mortal Kombat 2 territory now. We got the second tournament after Shang Tsung sort of twisted. Well, I mean, not twisted his arm, but said, "Hey, Shao Kahn, you know, we could coerce them into another tournament. Just let me do that, and don't kill me." And he's like, "All right, yeah, I guess I'll do that." And the whole point, and of course, the overarching story of Raiden getting weird, out of context flashes from his future self saying he must win, and trying to figure out what that means, who must win. And all he knows so far is that it can't be Liu Kang, but he doesn't know who it's supposed to be. So he's just trying to kind of change how things happen and kind of hope that it works, and you know, and yeah, that's it.
I got it. I'm caught up again. Yeah, nailed it.
Alrighty, here we go. I've already forgotten.
We're ninjas.
That's right. We're still in smoke.
Oh, man.
The old smoker.
In One Piece?
Is that a character? Smoker?
Yeah, there's a character called Smoker in One Piece.
Oh, okay. Does he have smoke powers?
He do. Does that surprise you?
I mean, either that or maybe he's just like a chain smoker, and that's just his name.
He's that too. He's both, if you can believe it.
That's if he was written by Hideo Kojima.
Yes.
Smoke man.
Smoke too much, man. Oh, look at those Lin Kuei cyborgs.
Goldman.
Still.
And now we won't get Robo Smoke in this timeline.
He's like, huh, that was weird.
So wait, he just electrocuted all of them?
Yeah.
But if he does that in a fight, it's like not as effective, I guess.
Why are you
These guys are harder than robots.
Yeah, it's the old cutscenes are fatal video game thing.
Yeah.
That will actually come into play in an incredible way later in this game.
Okay.
Call me crazy with a K.
Call me crazy with a K. Wait, so they acknowledge the K element within the world?
Maybe Johnny invented it.
The tournament.
Yeah. I guess.
Maybe they were like, that guy's on to something. The guy with the name on his chest.
I do remember reading some interview with Ed Boon for like Mortal Kombat, one of the PS2 ones, where the interviewer called out a word that they had missed the KC thing on. And he seemed like distraught just in the written interview. He's like, "Where was that?" And it was like before the era of patches, so it's like we missed one.
Just like flip
Now
it.
I want to find where that is.
Yeah, do you remember what the word was?
God, I think it was. No, it was the name of a mode that I think would flash on screen. Yeah, I'd have to go. I don't even know where I was, because it was maybe I read it in Electronic Gaming Monthly, maybe I read it in Game Informer magazine. It was like around the PS2 era of Mortal Kombat games, I remember. But yeah, I don't know how easy you could Google that, or if it even was. Maybe I'm misremembering. It's happened before.
And also, hello to everyone in chat. Holly Spice Wolf asking who's you guys' main in this game, as well as Mortal Kombat 1. Kyle, I don't think I mean, we know you haven't played this. Have you played MK1 at all, or do you have it?
No, I haven't touched it. I know there's a lot of really good games this year, so that's one of those that, like, if it were a slower year, I'd be like, yeah, I'll check out Mortal Kombat 1, but Like, you know what, Marcus and Brian shit, they haven't covered.
Okay, well, Chris, I'll start with you. So who was your main in this game, and who's your current main in MK1?
I have two, and they're both the same for both games, and it's Smoke and Reptile. I think both versions of those characters are just so incredibly fun to play. Smoke, because you can do the whole trick people by jumping and then doing the back teleport, and so they think, you know, they block you because they think you're about to do a down punch or a kick, and then you end up behind them. And then Reptile, just because his giant acid balls and his rush attacks are such a fun combo.
Okay. Yeah, Smoke is awesome. It's really cool to have him back.
It's
MK1. My answer is probably the most boring answer in the world, but it's Scorpion. Like, Scorpion's been my favorite since I was a kid. I don't know if that was clear or not based on my attire.
Yeah.
But,
The readings are getting stronger, and now they're
You
gone.
and Ed Boon.
exactly.
Zero?
Ed Boon is Scorpion, or Scorpion is Ed Boon's favorite. That's why he's on almost every single box art except for MK1.
And I mean, he's like permanent inclusion. There will never be a Mortal Kombat game without Scorpion.
Yeah, I
right?
think people
that's
would
just
burn NetherRealm to the
Right.
ground. if
right. Yeah, that would be okay.
They'd have to
He's
have
like
a-
the-
Find the Coliseum.
But he's not quite the Ryu, though, right?
like in terms of, I mean, in terms of being like the protagonist of the series, I mean, you could argue Scorpion. I mean, I guess Liu Kang is technically that, but it's weird because like Ryu
He's more
is
like the Chun-Li, right? Like he's everyone's favorite, and she'll always be there, kind of.
yeah, it's like MK doesn't have as much of a clear protagonist as Street Fighter does. Like they make it clear that Ryu is the hero of that story. MK it's a little bit more of an ensemble cast, I guess.
By the way, this is like the Shenron from Dragon Ball level.
Oh no!
If I could pick a third main, it would be Ermac.
Ermac's pretty great in this game.
Stay with me,
Ermac has amazing moves in this game, especially like, all of his enhanced moves. Almost like they're almost not fun to fight against because people can get so good at catching them in the air.
You see how Sonya used her like her projectile attack to sort of like cauterize his arm holes?
Yeah, I was wondering what was happening there. I was like, was that a healing thing or something? But I guess that makes more sense.
Yeah. Was that more brutal than how he lost his arms in the new movie? And Sub-Zero kind of froze him and just broke him?
Froze him and broken.
Froze him and broke him. Like a pack of hot dogs. We all do. That's what we all do, right?
I mean, everybody's done it.
Come on. Get a pack of ballparks, gotta put those in the freezer, because if you're not gonna eat them all immediately, you gotta. Or you get those like jumbo packs where you're like, there's like 100 in here.
Slimy if you leave them in the fridge. You know.
Yeah, you're not gonna eat them all every day. Let's see, Jockeying Mike D pointing out, Kyle, you and I, our first names are the
Yeah.
initials for MK. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, Marcus Kyle. I didn't either.
And if you spelled it correctly, me and Chris would have the initials.
That's true, yeah.
In an alternate universe where combat is spelled
It was-
properly.
It was my name that Edwin was so mad at.
We want to see a Chris in this office. Also, I forgot how to do the, God, there we go. I don't know why that was hard for me. This is weird because I'm already, like, I've played enough MK1 to have a little bit of muscle memory from it, and just the
Oh, sure.
just the tweaks of how they balance and just animations and stuff. Like, I think MK1 in terms of like how it feels to hit people feels really good. And this game does too, but now that it's like you're playing the better one, it's like going back feels a little weird.
I need your help to get into
How do you feel about how they changed X-rays from this version to how it is in MK1 now?
Oh, kind of like almost like the Tekken approach.
close.
Well, what?
Yeah,
Yeah,
where-
can you explain that a little more? Like, what's different about it exactly?
So they
So in the-
oh, you go ahead, Chris.
Well, no, you go ahead.
Oh, well, they're called Fatal Blows now, and you can only unlock them when you're about to die, basically. So it's not like you're building up towards them. It's like, oh, you're in trouble. So now you have this special attack that you can use to sort of like maybe try to even the match out a bit. So it's kind of like a breaking case of emergency type move now. But I guess it kind of was before, but now you can only get it when you're about to die. So if you're kicking ass, you'll never get it. Which I guess is... On one hand, if you're really good at the game, it might suck. You're like, oh, I want to see what they do, but I have to like get my ass kicked. But It's like I kind of get the idea behind it. I think it's a little less fun than just kind of being able to do it at will.
That's my feelings on it, pretty much exactly. Yeah, like it's not. I understand it as like a last ditch. Oh, I'm gonna do this because I have nothing else left, and maybe it'll save me. But in practice, like if you have two people that are almost very evenly matched, when you get down to that level, it's just whoever gets that one hit off first, and that doesn't seem as fun to me as like, oh, we've been building and going back and forth the entire fight. And also, like, it doesn't, to me, it, like, takes away the benefits and the negative effects of using, like, your enhanced special moves. Like, in this game, your enhanced special meter is the same as your X-ray meter. Whereas in MK1, like, you'll just get, whether you have any meter or not, you'll get it if you're about to die.
Yeah, like, there's, like, a strategy of, like, should I save up for my X-ray, or should I spend a meter to do this really powerful freeze attack?
Exactly.
You could use a powerful freeze attack right now, Marcus.
I could. I did earlier where I did his enhanced version where it's like a stream of ice, like that.
Yeah, like
Just a ball. Which, I mean, it shouldn't take much for Reptile. He's technically cold-blooded, so it should really require less ice.
Yeah,
that was like
slower every time.
It's like, it should be kind of a Pokemon weakness where every time he fights Sub-Zero, he's inherently at a disadvantage.
Oh, well, then I don't know how much you've played around in Invasions mode yet, but they have stuff like that.
Oh, really? No, I haven't dived in yet. I've been trying to... Usually with the new MKs, I just do the campaign and get out the way before I touch other stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to dive into Invasion. I want to mess around with that.
looks like you have a Resident Evil 4, like, ogre in the background there doing his thing.
It's El Gigante from 4.
Yeah.
Just hanging out.
I fought one of those last night in the RE4 DLC.
Oh yeah, I started playing that right after our stream of it. I pretty much got to... Oh, actually, I got exactly where you did before I stopped.
Like, well, Kyle said to stop here, so...
Don't want to offend him.
How are y'all liking that so far? I'm going to start that tonight.
Oh, it's fun. I mean, it's more Resident Evil 4, and like 8 is cool as hell, and yeah, I'm digging it. It's fun to just have a little bite size, like, oh yeah, this game came out earlier this year and it was really good. You know?
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
Well, it's wild to think that Resident Evil 4 remake came out this year.
No, God.
Something about this year has been... It's been so good that stuff that came out prior to like June or May, like pretty much anything that came out before Zelda feels like 10 years ago for some reason.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Because the
Everyone
summer
should have
was
gotten
so
together and done it better.
Yeah, like the summer was so strong and the fall looked so strong that like the spring, even though it had a lot of bangers in there too, it almost feels forgotten. Oh no, you're gonna get me with that.
Is next year just gonna suck?
It's kind of looking like maybe.
It's like it's just we're gonna have like 2024 depression. Like
It's 2024 is just gonna be called the backlog, and it's
We'll
just
have-
like, all right, half of that
yeah.
stuff you didn't do last year. Now it's time for that.
And Infinite Wealth just gets honorary 2023 release in January. It's like, yeah, I'll just that was part of that year.
I mean, is Ruben Studdard gonna have to come back and do This Is My Sorry for 2024? Is that what's gonna be required? Are we already writing off the year?
I'm smiling and nodding to that reference.
Do you not know what I'm referencing?
No, I don't.
Ruben Studdard, second place in American Idol the first season, right?
Okay.
He lost to Clay
It was either the first or the second.
Yeah, and he made his like big hit was "This Is My Sorry," Sorry 2004, and that was like the chorus was like "This is my sorry for 2004."
Okay, yeah.
I don't want to mess up no more.
Very much missed that one. Was entrenched in just
It was a very
metal shows in 2004. Wasn't listening to a lot of pop music on the radio.
It was even at the time I was like, this song has an incredibly short shelf life. Like the moment it turns 2005, it's immediately dated. I was like, I don't know why did you do this? Take that, Reptile. I really love Reptile in MK1, like on a conceptual level, like him like, oh yeah, I'm a human, or like I'm a Tatarian lizard man, but I can turn into a human, and that's weird in my people, and the way they incorporate that into his gameplay is so cool of like, you'll do attacks and he just becomes a lizard man for like a second. it might be up there. Maybe my favorite version of Reptile. Like I'm having a lot of fun with him in that game.
I agree 100%. I think like because there hasn't been a version. It's either been you have a man in a green ninja outfit who every now and then rips the mask off and has a lizard head and a fatality. Or when he does the acid spit, but that's all you ever see.
Yeah.
Or it's been stuff like this, where he's just like full-on lizard.
Yeah,
And
or
back
even
in,
more
the
like
3D ones.
remember Deadly
Yeah.
Alliance, where he was pretty much Kurt Connors, like
Yeah.
the lizard, which I never liked. I was like,
a dragon person.
yeah, that was always too much for me. I was like, you never go full lizard.
And then they just leaned into it and turned him into the Dragon King. And it's like just like whatever, you're just a dragon now.
Yeah.
So
You were in the room
Whoa.
where the egg hatched.
Well, not
So he
Onaga. 'cause-
transforms in one? Like he
Well,
goes back and forth between
you-
lizard mode and human mode?
Or are you confusing Onaga with? Oh man, look at that crowd. By the way, I was just staring at it. But were you confused? Were you thinking about Onaga from Deception, Chris? Because
Yeah,
he's his own character.
Well, he's in the ending for it's either Deadly Alliance. Yeah, I think it's the ending for Deadly Alliance. Reptile goes into the room where the golden egg is that like Onaga is staying in.
Yeah.
And like the light shoots out of it, and like his power is transferred into Reptile, and Reptile's like the vessel, and that's why he's not in Deception.
Ah, okay.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I mean, I could be
I just remember that
misremembering.
cutscene where they were like, "Oh, Naga's this thing that's been dead or like sealed away from like for like ever." And
Yeah, Blaze was watching over his egg inside the volcano.
right. Also, we got a classic matchup here. Scorpion showing
He got
up, be
brought
like,
up from hell, I guess that is?
"Yeah."
Call that a
He's like,
retirement?
"Hey, I killed you," and he's like, "Nah, I'm his brother, the one that's not a jerk." You kind of did the world a favor by killing that other guy. Take that, Scorps.
Scorps.
That's only his good friends call him Scorps.
Scorps. Or his most vicious enemies.
Oh yeah, maybe. Just the good. It's like a Joker calls Batman bats. Oh, here.
I googled lizard in Mortal Kombat 1. He does look cool. He looks like a hoodie wearing dude that turns into a lizard sometimes, I guess.
Hey, nothing cooler than a hoodie guy that sometimes is a lizard.
He definitely looks like he would not be out of place at a raid.
He's got a face tattoo too. Really lean into
Yeah.
that. No. Right over the eye. And it's like a snake or something. Oh boy. Okay, Scorpion's doing his business here. Hold on a second. I was like, I hit him, right? Because like, I can take a loss, but a flawless victory is unacceptable. We don't give those out around here. We haven't had one yet, have we, Kyle? Like on either side. I don't think anyone's got.
Oh, I don't
flawless.
think so. No one's got
I need to get one before the end of this super replay, but the best chance for that was earlier on, because the fights only get harder as the game goes on, so that ship may have sailed. We'll see.
What is this event? Like, there's like, is this like a multiple ringed circus? It's like
I
they
think
have
it's like
a
a
fight
Colosseum.
happening,
Oh yeah, like it's a Coliseum, clearly.
but then it's like, if you don't have seats right by the combat, you can check out the monster. Is that like what's
He's
happening
just
with the
there for
monster?
flavor.
I think like in my head, it seems like the monster portion of the show already finished, and this is the Mortal Kombat portion, but they're having a hard time putting the monster back in his pen.
He doesn't want to go
just there, just
away.
like,
Yeah,
go,
they're like,
go,
all
get
right,
in there.
like he was like the pre-show, right?
Right. And he's like, I want to see what happens in the tournament. Why do I have to leave?
Well, you didn't tell me Scorpion and Sub-Zero were gonna fight. I want to see that. They're like, you gotta go, man. You're taken away.
Oh, Scorpion got you over there.
He did.
He did one of those.
He brought me over to defeat, and he tried to do it again, but I was ready. Ugh. That move has a lot of like that. Has a lot of build up
It's
to
a
that.
lot of wind up.
I don't even know how. I don't think it does that much damage, does it?
It's a knockback, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of lame, ultimately.
He's like supposed to confuse him. He's like, what is he doing with his hands? He should end it with a kick to throw them off. They're like, oh, what? Don't watch the hands, watch the feet. Here, get there.
Yeah, that's good. Dude, just do that one.
Wow. Okay.
That's probably the
Scorpion's
Sub-Zero's like best enhanced special is that enhanced slide.
Yeah, the slides. His slide has always been so Just clutch. Legs. All right. Chat, let us know. Anyone playing MK1? What do you think of it? And who's your favorite character in MK1 so far?
I guess I have admitted I'm in a constant state of admitting that I don't know Mortal Kombat very well, right? But I feel like Mortal Kombat 1 has kind of, I don't know, it hasn't blown up like the previous ones did. But maybe I'm just not really paying close attention to Mortal Kombat. Maybe it just feels that way. But I don't know. What do you guys feel? Do you feel like, I mean, like the reception was positive. People liked it, but it's just not. I'm not seeing a lot of people talk about it. Is that my own perception? What do you think?
It's weird. I think if that's true, it's probably because it's come out in such a stacked year. And like still kind of in the wake of games like Starfield and even like Baldur's Gate. Even though it's own, I mean, even we got a mainline Street Fighter this year too. Even though that was a few months ago, it's like, I think of any of the recent Mortal Kombats, this might be like the most stacked year that a new one has come out in. You know?
Yeah.
So like even you were saying like, oh, I might have checked this out in a slower year, but I'm just so tied up with other stuff. Like I think,
but I just, like I said, I just didn't know if that was me just not really getting grabbed a lot by Mortal Kombat in general, or what.
I was looking at like the Mortal Kombat Reddit around the time that stuff was coming out, and I really did expect there to be like more people talking about it. Like, you didn't even really, like, when the reviews dropped for Mortal Kombat, you didn't even see like a lot of people doing the big roundups and everything.
Well, yeah, wasn't it like a Friday night or something? It was like the embargo time was.
Well,
really
we're talking about like
it was weird, yeah.
like the real release or like the early release.
Oh no, it was the. No,
talking about the review embargo.
Oh, the embargo. Okay, yeah.
Like it went up. I remember.
Because ours went up on Friday night. Yeah.
Yeah, is that? I don't know if maybe. But anyway, that struck me as odd. I was like, oh, that's a really nice for a review to go live for any game, you know?
Yeah, I think that a lot of people are like. Also, it's only on like it's not on PS4, and a lot of people still like don't have a PS5 or a new Xbox. And I know like the two of my friends that would really want to play Mortal Kombat 1 want to play it on PS5, but they don't have one, so they're just waiting.
Yeah, Holly in chat saying that MK1's Twitch scene blew up like crazy.
It did.
So
Okay.
I guess it's getting
cool.
seems like it's getting streamed a lot, or at least maybe.
It could very well be that then, if that's the case. People just wanting to play it and just not being able to yet. And again, that also speaks to the backlog. Like, there's so much stuff, like you said, Starfield and Baldur's Gate. Like,
Yeah, no, it's just an absurd year. It's ridiculous.
It's like more than most years. People kind of have to like. People really have to budget their time and money in a way where like you're gonna have to make some almost like Sophie's Choice decisions.
yeah, well, I was thinking, like, imagine being like somewhere between 13 to 17, 16, where like you still, you know, have to ask for games for Christmas. You don't have a job yet or something, and it's like, what if you only had to pick one out of the whole year? Like, what game are you gonna ask for Christmas? Like,
yeah, right. And October isn't even here, and that month is absurd with just how much stuff is coming out.
Well, not even.
So you're like, oh, do I ask for Spider-Man? Do I ask for Alan Wake? Do I ask for this? I've been watching and making a list all year of what I would want to play, and it's gotten so big, and I can maybe get 2 of these.
the Charlie Wall.
Do you think kids? I mean, Toys R Us isn't around anymore, but is there an equivalent of like the Toys R Us toy catalog anymore? Of like you get the thing and you look and you circle what you want and then give it to your mom and pray that she gets maybe 1 or 2 of the things you circled? Is there an equivalent of that anymore?
I mean, like local places do mailers, yeah.
Yeah, like my kid would circle stuff in the Target catalog.
Okay.
You know, but even she's not really of age to do that anymore. So I don't know.
Who Can 6 saying that Amazon sends one out? Like a
really?
Like a physical one?
Yes, I've seen that one.
Really?
I wouldn't say no to that.
I didn't know that. Your kids are just circling an Amazon Prime subscription.
It's all this highlighter on my phone. I don't understand.
Okay, I mean, I just hope today's generation, you know, you guys have kids, so you know, can have I feel like they need to know the excitement and also the kind of fear behind getting one of those, and your mom giving you the budget of like you can't go over this much money. See, it almost kind of teaches you how to budget early on. I'm like, okay, I got $50 left. What should I use it for? Damn it!
It's got to be something good. Oh, that's
you can survive this.
Yeah, but
You're just gonna have to not mess.
oh
with that.
wow, he got me immediately. I was
yeah, that's not fair.
Fears.
ow. God, Scorpion is on his game right now. Okay.
Should have punched faster, Marcus. That's my advice.
Okay.
Do more punchings faster.
Faster punches. Gotcha.
Yeah, faster, more intense. To quote George Lucas.
Like, when did he say that? What was the context?
That's the.
Also, thanks for the
actor.
gift sub, Holly.
Oh, yeah. Like Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford and stuff said, you know, in the original Star Wars, that was basically the only feedback he would ever give for any scene, was just faster, more intense. Like, they joked that they would write it on a board and that he could just hold it up while they were doing the performances, because apparently that's how George Lucas directs. You just do a scene and then he says faster, more intense, and then you do it a little faster, a little more intense, and you know, you're good to go. You got Star Wars, the most successful movie franchise of all time.
There you go.
Where did that intensity go in the prequels? We wonder.
Yeah, too much speed, not enough intensity.
Slower and more boring.
Yes, right. Can we make these Trade Federation talks any faster? Can we?
This is a really long hallway. You're gonna have to just keep coming at me. We're not gonna cut. We're not gonna do angles. Just long hallway.
We'll fix it up. It'll be fine.
Crocodile, I'm trying to get
Maybe
good.
Oh, yeah, Crocodile says get good in the chat, which I would back up that advice. That does seem like that would help you.
Okay, Shao Kahn's probably thinking the same thing as he's sitting in his chair, just full spread eagle.
I know, just chilling.
Like, thank God he's got his little cloth there, but
yeah, glad I'm not sitting next to him on an airplane.
I wouldn't sit like that. When
yeah, he seems like the guy that would
around.
intentionally take up both armrests without any. Actually, I sat next to a guy on the plane when I was coming back from LA from the preview trips. There was a guy who was like pretty tall and kind of like, he was like a big dude, and I mean like big as in he's just kind of tall and muscular, so he just takes up space, but he was in the middle seat and without like no shame just like took up both armrests, and it sucked, and he went to sleep. I was like, you don't need armrests to go to sleep. Like, he was asleep for like 95% of the flight, like as soon, like just immediately out. And I'm trying to play my Switch, which, you know, you're kind of holding it. You're trying to like, you need some elbow, you know, support to hold it up. And I'm trying to like, I had to like carve out my own little like space on the armrest to try to like have some support without like disturbing him. But I was definitely thinking like, man, this is, I feel like if you choose to go to sleep, you forfeit the armrest. I'm just saying.
Okay, so robots showed up and they want Sub-Zero.
They're gonna turn him into a robot.
Okay, and Shao Kahn, that's his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool with it. He's like, yeah, that's fine.
I mean, it's not his business.
Right.
That's Lin Kuei business. He's like, whatever.
It's interesting how Raiden protected Smoke, but then when Smoke was like, "Oh, we've got to go save him," he's like, "No, there's nothing you can do."
Or in a
about the-
coliseum, not a forest.
What about
It's
the
different.
thing that you did before? I think I can only assume it's because he's trying to change things, that he's kind of like, maybe this will help.
That makes sense.
Maybe if I make this one be a robot, things will be better.
Because in the original timeline, Sub-Zero never became a cyborg. Yeah,
Which is a shame, because he makes a fun one.
He looks sad.
What if
Is this how you show
Scorpion
your
was a
loyalty,
cyborg?
Jade?
I mean, I know we already have a yellow
Follow
one,
me
but
when I clearly wish to be alone.
what if he
That's-
had a...
That-
Afraid me?
I'll
I
be
will
honest
not
with
be
you, that has
scolded
got to
like
be the
some
only
child.
reason why he hasn't been
You
one
need to be
already.
careful.
Like, they were like, "No, we
I have
missed
never seen
it.
your
We missed our
father this
chance."
angry with you.
What if he was like
You are
a
a princess.
skeleton
He
robot
expects
man?
more from you than
From
this.
hell.
He expects.
Skeleton
The
robot man from
original,
hell.
We'll talk
the original Smoke,
When you are more
Robot
of a mind
Smoke in
to
Mortal
listen.
Kombat 3 was basically Scorpion. Like, he had Scorpion's, or he had classic Scorpion's moveset.
Princess Katana.
Except for the teleport, which was he stole from Sector, but he had like the spear that
Hey,
came
listen,
out of the
buddy, We
chest.
don't want to fight, but we will if we must.
You will learn respect.
You know, Smoke, I blame
Right into
Smoke
it.
for that. I blame Smoke entirely for escalating that when it didn't need to be.
It just cracks me up because they walk up on the beach and they're like, "Look, we'll fight if we need to. Let's do it." It's like, oh, okay.
Like, Johnny, surprisingly, out of all of them, Johnny's the one like, hey, we're not here to fight. And that probably would have worked because Katana's pretty reasonable, but then Smoke immediately had to throw in, we'll fight if we have to. It's like, you didn't need to say that, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing I do appreciate about MK1 storytelling. I know Ed Boon made a point of doing this, of like, the fights feel a little bit more natural now and not just like, well, we need a reason for these guys to have a fight now, you know?
Yeah.
Like, they lead into them in a more natural way that makes sense to the story.
I don't really mind. I don't think it's bad, you know?
No,
like,
it's funny.
yeah, that's what it is, you know?
But yeah, again, coming from playing so much of the story mode in MK1, it's like, yeah, they got better at that.
Right. It's like the equivalent of going to see a musical and being like, I don't understand why they keep breaking into song. You're like, that's the genre, man. Like, they fight. Like, they get into fights. Don't
Are you like
question that part of it.
Are you like Rocco in the spring cleaning episode? And he's just like, he's the only one not in on the musical, and he's just questioning it the whole episode because everyone's just breaking out into song. He's just like, how do you guys know the words? And they're just like, oh, we had a rehearsal last week. You weren't at the rehearsals?
It's Rocco's Modern Life. Is that what you're talking
Yeah, they did a musical episode, and the whole joke was like he was the only one not in on the musical, but everyone just started singing one day. It's a good episode. There, I gotta use the new Katana. Katana's always been one of my favorites. I like her.
Basically, the plot of that Apple show, Schmigadoon. That's basically what that show is.
Schmigadoon?
Like, yeah, like Brigadoon, but Schmigadoon.
Is that like a Pokemon? Oh, Smoke, you slippery little ninja.
Yeah, he keeps turning into his name.
That didn't work that time, though. Oh, wait, I got my X-ray. Hold on. Actually, maybe I should save it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, well,
I could knock out Smoke with it, maybe.
Smoke out of the way
Yeah.
because
Dang it!
Sonic Cage is easier.
Oh, so what happened? You
I
missed
blew it. Yeah, missed it. Because hers, she throws her thing, so you gotta. It's pretty much a projectile attack.
Okay. Freaking Smoke.
Johnny.
Marcus, you say you played the first couple hours of Mortal Kombat. How do you feel about what they did with like introducing the powers to the characters? Like when you start off as like Kung Lao or Raiden, and they don't have like their full bits yet.
I like it better than MK, like the movie, the 2021 movie's explanation of like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't want to get too detailed for people that haven't played it yet, but like them, it was something where I was just like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. Whereas MK, the movie, I was kind of like, I don't know if I need an explanation, or maybe this isn't the kind of explanation that I needed for why they do weird magically stuff.
In the film, they have like context for why they have magic powers.
Literally, you have to unlock it. It's like they call it Arcana, and they're like, hey, you gotta like. The only way you can unlock this is through training. Like, it's actually a lot like going Super Saiyan. Now that I really think about it.
Okay.
Of like, if you get really
angry in the rain.
Like, literally, Kano unlocks this because he gets really mad, and it's just like going Super Saiyan. But instead of being mad at the death of his best friend at the hands of an evil alien, he got mad over an argument about egg rolls over dinner.
Yeah.
And listen, man, it's a weird movie. It's a weird movie. Okay. What about you? Do you prefer it, Chris, or what do you think of it?
I think the way they introduced it here is really neat. Like, yeah, I don't really like it. It's for Kung Lao, it felt silly. Like it felt, but for Raiden, it felt appropriate. Like for what they're doing with his character, I think this is the most interesting. Like Mortal Kombat 1 is the most interesting that Raiden's ever been.
Yeah.
And like having him to actually like grow and change a little bit is really neat to see.
Yeah.
Whereas
you finished the story, Chris?
Yes.
Okay. I was wondering.
Yeah, and I'm trying very hard to not like say anything about that, because I have lots of thoughts that I'll talk to you about at a later date.
Okay.
For where that game ends up. Oh boy. You know how this one like does a weird thing around like the 75% mark, and it's just like, oh, we're doing this now. It's very similar.
Okay. Yeah, I've been avoiding any sort of like talk about it, obviously, but I'm excited to see. There have been pieces that have been played where I'm like, okay, all right, this could get crazy. Oh no, you don't! Too fast for you. Take these fans. Wow, Johnny took that hit. Johnny took that hit because he would have been done.
Smoke note that was like just an inch of health.
Oh yeah, like
yeah.
Smoke should. He owes Johnny a steak dinner for that one.
Yeah, they really.
Yeah, get out of here.
Did you use your X-ray? Did I look?
No,
away?
I didn't. I don't have it yet.
Okay. I'm surprised you haven't built up.
Oh, this is close.
Got it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to cheese this one a little bit.
Hey,
It works.
little pokey pokes.
you guys remember that game, Primal Rage?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was another because I haven't gotten into a lot of fighting games, but that was one I played a lot. And I remember cheese would flash on screen if you were just using the same move over and over.
Oh,
When I was young, I just like didn't understand it. I was like, why is it showing me cheese?
yeah.
I was like,
Hernando in chat says I remember Primal Rage. Do you remember the cheese, Hernando?
that's right. I'm not making that up, right? Because I remember there was one dinosaur that had a really long tail, and I would just like do this wide attack that would attack from like the other side of the screen, and the game was like, it wouldn't punish me. It wouldn't be like stop doing that. It would just like flash cheese on the screen. Maybe I'm an insane person.
Did it say like? It seems like it'd be like cheese. Was there a voice with it? Or?
I don't remember. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, if anyone in the chat remembers, just let me know that I'm not crazy. In the same way that Marcus let me know that I wasn't crazy about that Scrubs parody song.
That's right.
What Scrubs parody song?
So you know Scrubs by TLC, the song?
Yes.
So there's a parody song in the 90s called Pigeons, and it's supposed to be the male version of the song. It's like a guy rapper talking about how he doesn't want no pigeons, which I guess is supposed to be like the female version of a scrub, I think. I mean, he spends the song explaining what it is, but it's such a bad song that I don't. It's just such a bad parody of the song.
Yeah, like not even to mention the sort of sexist, not even undertones, but overtones of it. And the thing was, like I thought I had heard it at one point in my life and just had like dismissed it. I was like, that's not a real song I heard when I was young. And then Marcus brought it up, and I was like, wait, you've heard of this song too?
I didn't dream this. Like someone else had my nightmare.
This was a real song.
Yeah, they used to play it quite a bit back in the day, and it was supposed to be the like, haha, take that, ladies, got him. Oh boy, I wonder what that guy's doing. Now I don't know the guy's name, but the artist.
We looked him up.
We did, and I immediately forgot. Ugh, Smoke, I hate you, but I love you too. But I hate you when I'm not you.
So Hernando325 says it did have cheese.
Okay.
So that is a thing.
Yeah, Orange Flavor Pop saying there's a Primal Rage arcade cabinet in Mortal Kombat 11's arcade stage. Oh, I don't remember that.
Does that mean
That's
it's
the versus level, right? Where it just has different arcade cabinets?
I guess so, yeah. I guess there's a Primal Rage one in there.
Does that mean you can play them, or they're just in the background as like sort of
I
set?
think they're just in the background.
That's one of my favorite things about playing like Yakuza games is just walking into an arcade and being like, yeah, I'm gonna just like play Street Fighter for a little bit. Because why not?
Like Virtual Fighter's just here to play. You're like,
Yeah.
Is Street Fighter in Yakuza? Or is that was just an example?
I might have been thinking of Virtual Fighter.
Okay, I was.
It's whichever one the same company owns.
So yeah, okay, Virtual Fighter. That's why I was like, whoa, Street Fighter's in Yakuza? I didn't know that.
do you guys remember the first game where you could play another game in the game? I remember thinking that was like the coolest thing when I was like a teenager. I'm trying to remember like what was the first game I saw that in.
So the one, Shenmue was a big one that I heard about a lot, but like but not everyone had a Dreamcast. That game was kind of obscure. The one that like was popular almost explicitly because of that, which is a weird thing to say now, to me seemed to be Animal Crossing. Like the big thing about Animal Crossing for a lot of people was that you could get NES games in your house and play.
Yeah, actually, Rowcliffe in chat called out Animal Crossing. I guess for the first one they played. Yeah.
I remember like working at a GameStop and people feverishly buying the cards to like that you scan into the GameCube version of the game because they were like that was why they started playing Animal Crossing, because it gave you access to NES games, you know.
Yeah.
Weird. So that's the big one for me. Yeah, Animal Crossing.
Okay.
I remember in like I used to love like all of the different little mini games they would throw into the 3D Grand Theft Auto games. I think they probably didn't start really doing them in like actual full games until like San Andreas, but in San Andreas like there were multiple like little like asteroids clones and driving games and stuff you could play on your PS2 in your house. Like that was always really fun.
I don't remember that at all. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, Brooklyn pointing out Super Mario 3 had original arcade Mario in it.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool.
I was thinking of, even though I didn't play it, probably a famous one is Geometry Wars and Project Gotham Racing. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
that led
Yeah,
to like
that's right.
becoming its own game.
Yeah.
I was really close on that one.
Round one.
Orange Flavor Pop talking about the arcade cabinets. This is Orange Flavor Pop in the chat talking about the arcade cabinets in the background. They are just in the background in our playable, I guess. And then NetherRealm added a fun little arcade stage full of Mortal Kombat memorabilia and other arcade cabinets. No Street Fighter. The stage is called Retrocade and was added in the aftermath of it. Okay. So that's fun. So they yeah, like Primal Rage and stuff like that. Just in the background. That would have been wild if they got permission to put a Street Fighter cabinet back there.
Right.
That would have been crazy.
Like we
I
can't get.
still would like to see Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat.
Oh, that's like the ultimate. That's like the ultimate fighting game dream, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if it wasn't M rated though? Would that still be like? Does it
Yeah,
need
we
to be
did
M-rated?
versus DC. Like
Yeah.
that was not M rated.
Yeah, like
yeah,
I.
what's a well-liked game, right?
Depends who you talk to.
It was the one that fixed. It was basically like the proto dust. So like after Armageddon, that's when they did Mortal Kombat versus DC, and that was the first one where they like went back to the 2D fighting, and so people were happy for that.
Gotcha.
But, like,
Okay.
obviously, like Injustice was still pretty popular when it came out.
Oh, dang
Oh
it.
yeah, Injustice is huge. Honestly, I assumed another Injustice would be coming before.
Wow.
Combat 1.
I wonder if it wasn't supposed to.
Round two.
Really. Looking at how Mortal Kombat 1 like is as a whole, it's interesting. Like I'm sure that they're working on Injustice 3 in the background, but it's weird how even how it was announced. Like it was just announced in an investor call. Like it wasn't they didn't do a big song and dance about it. They were just Warner Brothers was just like, oh, and by the way, this order is going to be really good because Mortal Kombat 1's coming out. And then Ed Boon tweeted like little eyes on Twitter, and it's just like, oh, did you know he was going to say this today?
I mean, a lot of
Yeah, that
Mortal
was-
Kombat's
that
biggest
felt like a
fans,
mistake.
the true passionate MK fans, love listening to investor calls. I hear a lot of them astute business people, you know. So they're like, we're gonna get them. They're gonna hear this.
I want, selfishly, as someone who's not big into fighting games, I want NetherRealm to make like a cool like third-person action game of some kind, you know?
Totally down for that.
Yeah, like a single.
Have you played Shaolin Monks?
No, I'm certainly familiar with it, but no, I haven't played it. It doesn't even, doesn't even just need to be Mortal Kombat. Just anything. Just like you have great animators and good writers. Like tell some original story. Make it an action game.
Yeah, honestly, like a third-person action game with Scorpion would be amazing. Because he's got such an amazing backstory and just like character journey and all the stuff he goes through, and just he's also got all the cool hell ninja powers. Like,
Wasn't that the plan at one point? Like, if Mythologies hadn't bombed as much as it did, they would have done another one about Scorpion.
yeah, he's gotten screwed over a couple times because there was like, oh, we could do a Mythologies run with other characters, but at least the Sub-Zero one was so bad, and then it wasn't Mythologies, but like the Special Forces game with Jax was arguably worse. And then there was
Well,
you know-
no, arguably, it absolutely was worse.
yeah, I beat that game. I still own a physical copy of it.
That was PlayStation 1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one looked rough.
And then, I mean, the one that always hurts me is the Shaolin Monks follow-up that was going to be Scorpion and Sub-Zero called Fire and Ice. That never happened, but it was planned.
Does sound cool.
Like, that sounds so cool. Like, Shaolin Monks is fun, but just that game with those two, like, their abilities, I still hold out. Like, maybe one day he'll go back to that idea.
Kyle, you said you had a Dreamcast. Did you play Project Justice? Or Rival Schools?
No.
I
Yes! I finally beat
I'm
it.
trying like
Shao
I
Kahn
didn't
wants
have a
death to follow
Dreamcast,
combat.
but I had like
I will give it
weirdly
to
a
him.
lot of neighbors. That
Hey,
had
we're halfway
Dreamcast.
there.
Wrong about you.
if that makes sense.
They
You
did
know,
it
like
again.
it's like a weirdly high number of people had Dreamcasts live near me, and I remember I borrowed my buddy's Dreamcast for a long period of time, and he was like a disc burning fiend, you know, because that was the Dreamcast's big thing. But that was Rival Schools I did not play. I was playing a lot of Marvel vs. Capcom 2, but never played Rival Schools. No.
You are much more like Sindel.
Marcus, you play Rival Schools, right?
God, I know I played it at least once, but I never owned them.
Oh, that's a series I would love to see come back.
Why do
You need answers.
I mean,
Katana.
it's one that
can
like
help you
the
find
people
them if you
who
will trust
love
me.
that series like
Go to
really
Shang
love
Tsung's
that
flesh
series.
museum.
You know what I mean? Like
Much will be
if you
revealed.
meet someone who's like,
But
"Oh
the
yeah, I had
kids-
Rival Schools," they're like,
I
"Yeah,
am
that was the
forbidden
greatest
to.
thing that's ever
Yes,
happened to
you
me."
are.
You know?
And why is that?
So we're
I
coming up on a
don't
pretty
know.
big moment here.
Okay.
Tell me.
You must discover your
She doesn't
true
know.
path
Tell her.
alone.
Oh, they're done fighting.
So
they can
Raiden's
talk.
pretty much trying to say like, hey, your dad, or who you think is your dad, is pretty bad, and basically trying to make her see the light about what's happening. So he's like, hey, you should
Yeah,
go
bad
to.
dad.
He's like, hey, you should go to Shang Tsung's lab, and maybe you'll find some stuff that might open your eyes. Just saying.
I like that he's trying to change time, but he's still doing the whole like
Show
time
yourself,
travel
Jade.
cliche of I
know
can't
you're following
really
me.
tell them what's going on. I
Again.
have to just hint at it,
Following you still.
and
Yeah,
then
you're like-
everything will be fine. I'm
Going.
sure they'll
I
get my
ordered to
notes.
prevent
Yeah, you're like,
you
what's
from-
the
I'll
what's
my
the,
own
Why
quick
is
message.
that? I do not
you're like, what's the
question
line
Hilliard's
exactly?
plans.
You like, can you would it
Katana
hurt to
please.
just tell me? Because
Turn
you kind of
back.
are, or what is?
I cannot. This path
Why
might
is this
lead me to
better
the truth.
than just telling me? Yeah.
Sorry, Jade, but I will not allow you to stop me.
Sorry, Jade. Don't want to do this, but hey, Oscar. Chat. Jade is if you're wondering, Kyle. Jade's kind of like Katana's best friend, basically.
Friend.
Yeah, kind of like a ride or die, you know.
Right. Okay.
Like her.
I mean, they make sure there are wardrobe matches, so that's good.
Yeah, that's the rule, right? If you're best friends, you gotta wear the same thing, basically, right? You guys don't do that with your best
Or
friends?
enemies, I guess, right? That's how Mortal Kombat works.
Well, I think your best friends become your enemies, and I think it just sticks, right?
Wait, aren't Scorpion and Sub-Zero like enemies, right?
Oh yeah, they
Yeah,
They
they were
slowly grow into friends over time.
Oh, do they?
Like
Okay,
everybody.
okay.
yeah.
That's like well,
Think-
because they wear matching clothes too. So.
They had their intervention with each other, you know. They had to sit down and like,
They had a literal tea party in Mortal Kombat 11.
it was pretty great. it's very,
It
it's pretty cute.
was fun to see. It's just like, oh, y'all finally did it.
It's like you guys have come a long way.
And they're like, they'll sit down and drink tea. Like that's the.
I like to
bit,
think
I
they
guess.
reminisce about all the horrible things they've done to each other. Like, remember that time I ripped your spine out? That was pretty messed up. I'm sorry about that, man.
You're Katana, by the way, right? You're blue.
Yeah, I'm get over it. I like to think I never thought about this before, but I like to think she's blue because she's royalty. It's probably the decision behind that choice, right? I used to when she first came out in MK2, there was like a couple of kids in my school that thought she was just the female Sub-Zero because we were just trained that like, oh, if you're blue, you're the ice person.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't get a female Sub-Zero for 3 more years, but I remember that was like the early rap on her. Like, oh, she's like Sub-Zero's sister, right? Back when you just spread rumors like that in school.
Were they palette swaps? Was that their thing, like back in the day?
Pretty-
Okay.
And Melina as well.
Yeah,
Emily,
like
okay.
Katana sort of kicked off the like, hey, what if we had palette swaps but for the girls?
Right. Okay. Hey, you know, smart.
I mean, changing the color it'll result in a lot of success for them. Damn it. Also, I've always loved the Living Forest soundtrack, like the flutes and stuff. It's really good.
It's a creepy stage, man.
Oh yeah, you should see the original version. the sound effect of them like kind of roaring used to creep me out as a kid.
Is that Mortal Kombat 2? Where that first
yeah.
starts from?
Was it 2 or was it 3?
Yeah, I believe 2 because 1 is all on the island and 2 is
I tried
the
to warn
all in
you.
Outworld, and then 3 is like the
This is
realms
something
merging.
I have to
Oh
do.
my god, that is creepy. It's just like they sort of just took a human face and like lightly photoshopped it on top of top of a tree.
It's probably honestly
Don't care for it.
based on the way they did things back then. That's probably like an employee
Yeah, that's what
I
I say.
mean,
That's
yeah,
probably
right.
just like Carlos Pacino's face again.
Yeah, just like an intern that was there one day. He's like,
I'm available to be a tree.
how do you feel about being a tree? You want to be a tree?
You
No,
brains?
so we're in Shang
Or-
Tsung's flesh pits. Look at all his creepy experiments.
Sigourney Weaver clones.
Oh, there she is.
That's her?
Yeah.
Like a clone of herself?
Yeah.
Not a good one.
Yeah.
That's too many teeth.
What in the name of...
What in the...
Oh.
Oh, there's like a bunch of clones of her?
Yeah.
More than one?
He's Palpatine in it.
Yeah, pretty much. This is the beginning of the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, well, you know, already more context than we got in that film.
Somehow Melina has awoken.
Sister.
This one seems fine with being a clone. She doesn't seem to care at all. She's like, yeah, whatever.
So pretty. So fair.
Shang Tsung
So sad.
really needs to maybe ask for more on the like
He could've
rapping
put
budget.
Clothes on her.
Yeah.
Yeah, he seemed like he really had to kind of like work with very little.
You get
Naturally,
one
you are a
8-foot strip of
monstrosity.
fabric. Do your best.
I mean, I'm honestly trying to remember. I don't know if this is an alternate costume or if it's
It
the one
is.
you had to pay for.
I thought it was an alternate you had to unlock.
But that's what I was wondering, is if you had to
Yeah.
unlock it or if this was one that they sold. Because I could see this being one that they sold just because.
Oh, is this they were already doing? Because that was pretty early in the DLC.
Yeah, this one had.
No, not 2011.
And Kratos. Who else?
Yeah, there was a lot of DLC for this game, like cosmetic stuff.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Lots of the classic costume. Your outfit, the one you're wearing right now, is DLC for this one. That's working.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because I remember they made a big deal about like we got the classic outfits back, and people were like, yeah, and I was too.
And I was one of them.
I paid money for that.
I bought all that stuff, but I played this game to death, so it was like my money is well spent. I'm gonna get the most out of this.
Oh yeah, I think I've got more playtime logs on this than any other Mortal Kombat game.
Yeah. This
Oh,
was-
really? For both of you guys?
It might be because like not only with myself in a line, but like my friends at the time. Like one of my best friends, she's also a huge MK fan. Like we were both so excited for this game together. Like we were like bonding over this. So me and my friends, we played a lot of this game.
All right.
Yeah, same.
Jeez, man. So yeah, Melina. I feel like this is the game where Melina became like super popular. Because prior to this game, she was always kind of like a B tier, like oh she's cool, I guess. But what they did with her, and, yeah, like oh she's like her character, like her premise was always cool, like oh she's a clone, but she's mixed with Baraka's race, so that's the only difference is that she's got the crazy mouth, and she's also a psycho. But like this game took that idea and then really ran with it in a way that was really cool and just made her like strangely like alluring to people and like
It made her more fun. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't just like this is a palette swap with a weird face.
or she's just evil
Palette
katana.
played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like she had her own distinct personality. Like she's like super unstable and like seductive, but just this absolute like monster of a person. And like I think they realized that in MKX because she's pretty much like one of the main characters in that game.
Yeah.
So Melina is a clone of Katana?
So yeah, she's a clone mixed with Cotton DNA, which is Baraka's race. So that's why she's kind of like imperfect because of the face. Like that's why she always wears her veil because otherwise you can't tell them apart.
Sister.
I mean, I've always wondered why people don't look at their eyes because she's got very clearly like evil-looking eyes, but you know, other than that, can't tell the difference.
Abominations you have created here.
I am merely perfecting you, princess. As difficult as that
Perfecting
might
you.
be.
So that's her dad?
Silence.
No, that's Shang Tsung.
I will drag you
Shang
before
Tsung's not her dad.
Shao Kahn
Who's
is
her
her.
Shao Kahn's her dad.
Yeah.
Fight.
I'm getting it. I'm getting there.
What was that supposed to be? Shao Kahn or Shang Tsung? He just kind of. That was like a warning shot.
It's like, this is what I could do to you if you got close to
Oh,
me.
he stole-
Oh, now he you.
I guess he's the perfect clone. I like looking at the failed attempts at Melina. But you see that one that has the Baraka blades? It's kind of that's kind of like a cool what if of like, how come she didn't get the Baraka blades like final Melina? Because that seems like that would be really helpful, and you could hide those a lot better than
Since she got
giant mouth.
she got teeth. That's what she got.
Yeah, like that seemed like that's like the perfect concealed weapon. I legit almost forgot who I was for a second. I was like, which one am I?
I lost track. Yeah.
I was like, I hit that, right? Okay.
I trust you know what you're doing. You have the confidence.
Stop it.
Shang Tsung.
Yeah, Shang Tsung is good at those zoning attacks.
Round 2. Fight.
The backside? Okay, never mind. I see you, sir. The stages in this game are so good, and they've only gotten, but like MK1 stages look so good. Like, I don't know how you feel, Chris, but I was saying on the GI show that I think MK1 might be the best looking fighting game ever made.
Oh, I don't know, because I do definitely agree it's the best looking Mortal Kombat game, like for sure. And just by virtue of it being next gen and like the amount of detail that they put into their environments is ridiculous. How far you can see in the background and there like still be interesting stuff happening is really cool. But like the overall design of like Tekken, or not Tekken, what do you call it? The Street Fighter 6.
Oh yeah,
so fun.
Yeah,
like, it's just that game just makes me smile when I play it because of like how flashy and how everything is animated, and it's really a toss-up. Like it's definitely like Mortal Kombat 1 is beautiful, but it's not as like it doesn't have as much energy as I feel like Street Fighter has.
Yeah, it's hard to compare them to because they're going for such different art directions. But yeah, Street Fighter 6 is a fantastic looking game too.
I'm always gonna have to go with whatever art system is doing. Like, you know what I mean? Like Dragon Ball Fighters.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Fighters. Oh god.
Again, it's apples to oranges, right? But like that game. The funny thing about Dragon Ball Fighters is like, even there were people I knew who were just like dismissive of anime in general as a genre, who were like, freaking anime looks so stupid, and they would watch footage of fighters and be like, you know what, that looks pretty great, that looks awesome. Like even they would be kind of enamored with it.
I'm mad that I got caught with that.
I know, it was so close.
Let's see. Jockey Mike D asking in chat, what do you guys think of the new iPhone being able to handle AAA games? Some big news recently. We got the 2 Resident Evil games, the Death Stranding, and one more coming to the iPhone, which is kind of wild to hear.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Are you guys going to be playing on your phone? Does this?
No. I mean, I like mobile games. I like even plugging in my backbone controller and using it that way. But I don't know. It's not really a game changer to me, but maybe it will be. I don't know. Maybe I will play it more than I realize.
I kind of just want to see what it looks like, because I don't own an iPhone, so I won't be able to play it. But
I've never been too big into iPhones just in general. Like I have a Google Pixel phone and I really like that. But it seems to me like it's cool, but it's also like I was playing Resident Evil Village on my phone through Stadia 2 years ago. Like this isn't super new. And I know like what is cool about the iPhone thing that I think like will be the most useful for people is that you can plug it into a TV super easy. So you could like if you have a game that you want to take over to your friend's house and you don't want to like say you could play Mortal Kombat 1 on the iPhone, you don't want to take your PS5 to your friend's house, you could just plug your phone into their TV and then y'all play it like that. I think that's really neat. But again, we could have done that. That's a thing that already exists. Like Apple's really good at repackaging things that already are things.
Yeah, I'm still gonna reach for the Steam Deck first, but I don't know. Hey, maybe we'll see. Maybe I will start reaching for my iPhone.
Yeah, she's
felt you should know what
snitching on Shang Tsung.
doing as of late. This conjurer has created horrid replicas of me, crossbred with Tarkatan blood. One was
But he's
alive,
probably on board.
it
He's like, yeah, I
attacked
told him
me.
to do that. Right? Is my prediction correct? That he's not surprised about this at all? Yeah, see, well done.
You know? You approve?
Oh, fuck.
How could you? My own father.
I am your
His
emperor.
shredder helmet. His reverse shredder helmet.
It is very shreddery.
I think we used to call him Shredder in like Mortal Kombat 3, like when Ninja Turtles was still like super popular with
Yeah.
people our age.
I think it still is.
I was about to say, oh, you mean the year
I'll tell
2023?
you, I really want to see that movie.
It's good.
You
And
have lied
It's so
to me
good.
my entire
good,
life.
good. I'm glad.
Escort her to
I'm
the tower.
gonna see it soon, and that the video game, the Mayhem Rampage, whatever that Mutant Rampage, that was really fun.
Return to the flesh pit.
Shredder's Revenge.
Oh, Shredder.
Oh,
yeah,
the
yeah,
recent beat 'em up. Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
it's called.
Look at that. That's cold. He's like, yeah, take my old daughter away, bring me my new one. That's like better.
I failed you,
Yeah, that's
Kitana.
messed up.
Now I will make amends.
Don't do that. So all you dads out there, I don't recommend cloning your children with like a monster and then replacing your
Don't
child.
don't do that, you're
Don't.
saying.
Yeah, don't.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you said do
That is
do
no
that.
toy. It belongs
I love
to
this
Shang
I love this so much. Just the idea of Baraka holding a shotgun.
It's so weird. The guy with giant blades in his arms, like, oh, shotgun.
Like that was always the thing, right? Like that was how why Kano was
Stand
there, was
aside.
that the
I will
Black
see
Dragon was
Kitana.
selling like weapons to
You are an
Outworld.
excellent
And it's just
guard
like, why do they need them? They have
must
magic
go to war.
powers, and
I do
like
not take orders from you.
they don't need RPGs.
But what if they had magic and guns, Chris? Why have just one? Double up.
Why not both?
See, Kano had it backwards. He should have been like stealing the magic from Outworld and then selling it to evil people.
That seems hard.
Sorry.
I don't know if you can pickpocket magic as easy as a piece, you know, as a Glock. But I would like to see it.
In a cage. Like, look, you want the arm blade monster?
He has to start his own flesh pits to clone magic people.
So is this the Baraka, or this is just one of the?
Baraka is a person, like it's a name.
I know,
So,
right?
Yeah,
but he's also
this is Baraka.
okay because he was just talking to someone who looked exactly like him.
Well,
Was that
because
just
he's
another
that's his race.
right?
They all look like that, but Baraka the character is like the leader.
Okay. Then I was just wondering if like the way Baraka works conceptually is like yeah, you're just always fighting one of them, one of
okay.
those guys. But no, he is a character with his own.
Yeah.
His own funky jump kicks that we see in his game.
No one hits him quite like Baraka. The signature.
Baraka's real fun to play in this game.
Yeah, Baraka. Traditionally, if you play someone that's good with Baraka, that person's a menace.
What's so good about Baraka?
He's just
That little spinny thing he just did. That.
Round
That one
fight.
move.
I mean, in his debut in MK2, when he could do the stabby knife thing, it was a pretty good counter for people jumping at you.
Yeah.
So it kind of trained you to maybe not do that so much.
You gonna X-ray him?
When he least expected, he wasted his, loser. Let me show you how we do it in Adenia. Right now! Okay.
Did he block it?
He blocked it, yeah.
Oh, you can just block
I forgot that Jade's is like a rush, like she kind of like grabs you.
No.
Well, next time, buddy. I got you, you'll see.
There is a next time.
Yeah, get some of this staff
do
here.
that.
Here, I'd like to have a staff meeting with you. Jade's famous catchphrase.
I do like that.
Oh boy, this is getting a little too close.
Oh, Marcus.
Oh boy.
Rooting for ya.
It's like Baraka.
Oh,
Baraka's so scary because he can rush so quickly. Like he's so explosive, and he has a deceptive reach because of his blades.
He clicked will not attend to that meeting.
Yeah, he said no to the calendar invite.
Yeah, I have a conflict.
This whole fight stage like as per my last email.
Here, take that. Okay, maybe not. Take this one. Okay, you don't want it, clearly.
You get HR involved.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Jade has her. She has that move where she can just let projectiles fly through her. I forgot
Yeah.
how you do it. Look that up.
Will she go like a full smoke mode?
Yeah, like she basically is untouchable for like it's like she's not invisible, but like projectiles just pass through her.
Pole pain.
Pole Pain. That's my favorite strip club. Probably don't want to go to a strip club called Pole
I don't think you'd
Pain.
want to go there.
I'm trying to remember how you go to. Okay, that's right. All right, wait. Sue. Okay, was it Shadow Flash? I think it is. Yeah. Man, she's got a lot. I forgot she had so many.
Shadow Kick is really good too. Like that's the same as like Baraka's Fast Stab, but it's her like.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, hold on. There it is.
I just love that one because it's such a like it's quick.
Yeah,
wind up. Like you don't wait for it.
It feels good. So you get it. Yeah, take that.
Oh wow! Look at that. You just checked the menu once. You're like, oh, you checked your moves.
Yeah, it's like I got my talent back.
This is the one problem with like I think every Mortal Kombat story mode since this game is that because it does kind of push you from one character to the other, your first fight, like when it changes chapters, you're just like, okay, well, what am I doing now? Like I was not onboarded at all for this person.
Yeah, I can see that. When you're flashing like that, that move you like just turn on flashy mode for a couple seconds. Is like how that works?
Yeah. So if he were to shoot me with his projectile, it would just pass through.
Yeah, big old waste of time.
It's kind of like Shadow Cat from X-Men.
Good boy.
Kitty Pryde.
Or that one guy from My Hero Academia.
Blind loyalty
Yeah,
is not a
still haven't
good
seen
thing
the
in
show. I'm
battle.
sorry.
You must keep
good.
your eyes
I know.
open to anticipate the finishing blow.
Watch him
Step on him. Yeah.
You make it too easy.
This was Mortal Kombat 1, his head would have exploded.
Oh yeah. He would not exist anymore.
Clear. No one is allowed in the tower.
I
As you
remember her.
can see, I am here.
Diva.
Here to help the
That's kind of
A
the
lot,
most
yeah.
you can ever say about Shiva is I remember her. I've seen her in other games. She's not. She's not really
As
a
seen
big
in Mortal
player.
Kombat 3 and other
And others.
places.
Yeah,
Other Mortal Kombat.
she's very much in the. If this was a wrestling company, she'd be like the Natalia. Like kind
This
of a,
level here was one of my favorite levels in Mortal Kombat 2. Like just the design of the temple and the creepy monks.
yeah,
Like
the weird
creepy
shadowy
monk-
dudes there.
Yeah, he looks just like the person on the cover of Hexen, which is I
Oh
think why I
yeah,
like
he
that.
does. Oh, that's funny.
Maybe that's what he does. He's like
Featuring X.
he's just like a. That's what he moonlights. You know, when he's not doing whatever his job is in this temple. He's like, yeah, I'll be on that game
Protect
cover.
Horax.
Okay, so this is like in just a really windy mountain or something. I thought you were on a ship at first or something.
We're like on a.
It's like a temple, yeah, like
I guess
working
it's
your way up. a
pretty
temple.
high up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah!
We're in
Faster.
we're in
Oh,
our world.
oh, come on, you can do it, Marcus.
Hold on.
Hit her with a crawl. There you go.
What did you say? Hit her with a what?
Hit her with the crawl.
What is a?
What is a
You don't know-
crawl?
You guys don't know crawl?
No, I know.
I know Dave Grohl. Is that you want me to hit him, throw Dave Grohl at him?
Kroll, Marcus, is like a fantasy movie from, I don't know, the mid 80s or something like that.
Yeah,
And
it's
the
like
whole
late 80s or
okay, and he has like that. It's named after the weapon, which is like this three-sided boomerang blade that he throws at all the bad guys.
Wait, is he just the what's his face from Dark Sector?
Well, Dark Sector is what's his face from Kroll. If we gotta get it right.
Wow, that was that was. Did you see that? Caught her on the back of the boomerang there. I like that.
Who's in Kroll? It's like
Sushi in chat saying Shiva was my favorite character in MK3. I think you're the first person I've ever heard say that.
that down up will catch people like all the time.
Oh yeah, that's the best thing about her is like that, and who else does it? The other
when she stomps
like
from the sky,
Kentaro.
Are you?
Yeah, it's
Now then,
it was a great way to troll people if you just spam that.
Look at her in the background. She's just like nap time.
Laid out. Quick, you gotta
Find Raiden.
pickpocket.
Ask for
You got
his
these
help.
like energy
Magical
chains.
Chains.
Yeah, what do you do? To...
What do you do
Yeah.
with that?
Yeah.
I guess she was a good jailer because I mean she's still in jail. She's not even
James
conscious.
just like, I'll just be back later. I don't know what to do in this situation.
I gotta find the off switch.
I just brought like thieves' tools. I don't know if that'll work here.
by the gods.
This is a crystal,
You must
maybe.
return with me. There's to be a celebration.
Melina's like she's part of it now. She's like, I'm here. I was 5 minutes ago. I was on a table with toilet paper. Now I'm like the main character.
They like check out the new. Oh wow. Melina also, that teleport kick could be a real problem. I like Melina. She's really fun to use. I know, like all three of them are like. I like using like Katana. They're all really fun to use.
Is Melina like Harley Quinn energy? Is that like her?
Yeah.
Is that the right read? Or?
There's a good. Kinda, yeah.
It's there. I wouldn't say all completely, especially not in the newest one. I think they serious her up a lot.
Yeah.
But here, definitely.
I think that's probably a lot of her appeal is that she has that like that insane energy that's kind of like fun.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, she's just like this unpredictable killing machine that some people are weirdly attracted to, even though she has a creepy face and likes to rip people's head off with her mouth.
She will literally eat you.
Yeah, her fatalities, and even I remember her win animation in this game is actually kind of creepy when she like jumps at the camera with her face unmasked and just like it's just like she's literally just like it's like a POV of if she jumped on your shoulders and like right before she rips your head off. It's kind of like what it looks like. It's like it's like a really cool like sort of like in screen, but it's kind of creepy because you just see her like full on mass blood coming out of her mouth. You're just like, oh my god, too close, too close. That. Yeah, take some of this. Oh yeah, you didn't expect it to come back, did you? That's why they call it a boomerang, because that means back. Obviously.
We assume.
Yeah.
Jade wins.
Jade's favorite game is Boomerang X, probably. Yes.
What's that? Why does that sound so familiar?
Boomerang X? Yeah, it came out a couple years ago. The like first-person game where you played as an indie game.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
Kind of
really
like a roguelike.
I didn't play any of this.
Play the boomerang?
You literally the whole game was like first-person. If you had like a really strong boomerang, it just went around with sort of like almost Quake-style arenas and just killed a bunch of guys. It was pretty good.
Okay.
Oh boy, yeah, that teleporting punch does seem, or kick rather, does seem rough.
Not as rough as this stick. Yeah.
Pole pain. Give her the pole pain.
Staff meeting. Meeting adjourned. Am I right?
I am more of a sister to Kitana than you. I must
Well,
find
technically, blood-wise, that's actually objectively not true. But she's no literal clone. But.
Oh, Smoke, not again.
Smoke, stop escalating.
Everybody's like, bro, you gotta go out.
Smoke, hey, look, Smoke woke up this morning and chose violence.
That's right.
He's here to fight. He does not care who it is.
Why is your X-ray meter so full already?
Did it carry over from the last fight?
No, you got the first attack, so whenever
that gives you a lot.
hits first gives you an entire full section.
Oh,
Cool. All right.
I'll show you what I got here. Picking fights for me for existing.
Oh, that was close to a flawless.
It was. I didn't even realize that. Oh,
Round 2.
I would maybe try.
You a Jade? Have you been a Jade main this whole time?
I mean, she is one of my go-tos. I'm not nearly as good with her now as I used to be because it's been a while, but some of it's there. Yeah, I see that. I don't know how that worked, but
That was weird. Yeah.
I'll take it.
Those are my favorite kind of attacks where both people are just like, I'm not sure what just happened. But
It benefited
Someone
me, so
won.
it's good. Come here, you. Yeah. Oh yeah.
That pull move. That's that gets the job done.
It's almost kind of funny. It seems like a real dick thing to just like juggle their head around in the staff.
Yeah.
It's like I feel upset for them for getting caught in that. Here. You ready? You ready? You ready for the signature? Here we go.
Now you're just
Staff
toying
meeting.
with them.
Yeah.
I did not wish to do that.
I mean, that's probably true. I'm just walking down the beach, man.
Lord Raiden, I come at the request.
Lord.
Raiden, you
it's like,
need to,
listen, we're sorry about Smoke.
That girl.
hey, Raiden, you need to check your boy.
Guess I'll win another one. What's Raiden got that I haven't got?
Godlike power?
A personality that is not at all like sanding paper?
Got him.
Jerks.
Just got clowned on by the Shaolin monks.
Kitana. Executed? Where is she?
Held captive in the tower of Shao Kahn's fortress.
I will
I'm not pleased with this outcome either.
What about the laser, the laser wire?
We must return.
Yeah, yeah. How do we turn that off?
Have you guys ever seen that? Do you guys have that in Earthrealm?
Turn against Shao Kahn. Lord Raiden, we can free her as others fight.
I like
her
that Smoke
instead and join
kind of has to
thereafter.
play off that he didn't just get his ass kicked. No, you
He's
have
like,
to-
okay, I guess
That's
I'm
what I meant to
back.
happen.
We will meet you at the Coliseum.
When I first played Half-Life 2 back in the day, I had a bug that I didn't realize was a bug until much later in life, where no one had pupils.
notice that I am
Like no characters had pupils. And I just was like, I played the whole game that way, and I was like, oh, I guess no one has pupils in the universe of Half-Life for some reason. But Raiden's eyes, just that's how everyone in Half-Life 2 looked the first time I played Half-Life 2. And I
Oh,
was
that's
like,
terrifying.
I mean, it worked for the G-Man. G-Man
Yeah.
introduces you. He's like, welcome. You know, it's time for you to get back to it. And I'm like, this guy is creepy.
Yeah, we got a new challenger here, a Noob Cybot.
So he's not Smoke? He's Oil? What's his deal?
Should we say, Chris? That I think they revealed it in the story, right?
They do reveal it in the story. So yeah, he's a new fella. He's not Smoke. He's just a ninja. He's all in black.
He's
He has some shadow powers.
he's also the worst person to fight against in MK3.
It might be true, yeah.
He's and I know that because I got really good with him and I would annoy my friends.
Noob is the best character if you just want to be like, no, fuck you, no,
Yeah, like
no, block,
he's
block.
borderline odd job levels of annoying.
Round two.
Like in GoldenEye? Is
Yeah,
that
like
what
you could see parties where like you have to enforce a no Noob Cybot rule.
Right, he's just not balanced.
He's just really good. Yeah. All of his moves are just super annoying.
He has a move to stop almost every single thing you could do. And then he can also do that sometimes.
Yeah,
It's
he
like, here's a hole.
throws himself at you, like throws copies of himself at you. That thing.
Whoa, jeez. See what happened?
Exactly. It didn't help too that in the original game, because you know it was just like the palette swap ninjas, he was the black ninja, but he literally was like all black, so it just looked like a weird like silhouette of a person moving, and in some stages it was kind of hard to see him.
I like the phrase palette swap ninjas. That would be like a good like I don't know what that is. Some indie
Yeah, it's like a
platformer
Pac-Man.
or something, you know, palette swap ninjas.
Yeah, that was the original name of the Fire and Ice game that didn't happen. Sub-Zero with Scorpion and palette swap ninjas.
Round
Man, this escalated real quick. It's like, oh, Noob Cybot and Goro is just here.
Man, who's the four-armed lady? What's her name?
Shiva.
Shiva. Okay, she's just also fighting in the background, I guess. Not
Yeah.
literally, but
Yeah, she's. Did they scoop her off the floor? I guess.
They're down the hall farther to the left.
she woke up.
She's like, I'm ashamed of myself. I have 4 arms. How is this happening? Wait, is that true, Rocliffe? Rocliffe in chat saying Palette Swap Ninja is the name of a parody artist who does music like Weird Al, but for video games.
Really?
Is that real? Can you look that up?
That
Is,
has to be. I mean, palette swap ninjas have been a phrase since Mortal Kombat. So
is there a
Yeah,
Weird Al of video games called Palette Swap Ninja?
Palette swap ninja. Geek parody music by Jude and Dan. Well,
What?
I'm glad someone's using the name. That's yeah, music. It's a band basically. Yeah.
I have to look that up later.
I wonder
Yeah.
what songs they parodied from games.
Round two.
Because it's weird, because a lot of video game music doesn't have lyrics, so you can't really Weird Al them, right?
Well, there was
Yeah,
a
and the ones that do are almost like parodies of themselves, like Still Alive, the Portal song. Like,
Yeah, like you can't
Yeah,
really
it's a joke
Weird
song to
Al.
begin with, yeah. the end of the Plants vs Zombie end theme for that.
Maybe
I
the-
do like a
the
I do
Snake
like
Eater
a good
song?
yeah, I do
Ooh.
like a good credits song that's just like explaining the plot of the game you just played. Like that's one of my favorite things. I'm always up for that. Like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 or 3 had one, I think. It was either 1 or 2. And then God, there was a game I played kind of recently that had it at the end too that I was like really into. I can't remember what it was called though. It was on I played it on the Switch.
Yeah, I feel like Hernando's saying, have you guys heard the System of a Down Legend of Zelda cover?
Yes.
Yeah, that was like a Kazaa staple, right? Like, or whatever Napster-like.
Yeah, you have that,
file
and then
sharing
you
software.
have MC Chris's Mario rap.
I saw MC Chris in a concert once, and he just threw a bunch of Star Wars action figures to the audience on the stage.
Was he like chucking them? Like, because that seemed like that would hurt. Like, just
Gently. He was handing them out.
Just pelting them at people.
Just tossing plastic stormtroopers as hard as he can.
Right.
Did you get one?
No, I didn't. I wish I had.
Yeah.
It was like a small venue. Like, there weren't that many people there. You know, I probably could have gotten one.
Mm-hmm. What would it be if you guys were? I mean, Kyle, you were in a band. I don't know if you were, Chris, but what would be your gimmick to toss into the crowd? Like, what would be your thing?
Trash.
just whatever trash is backstage. Just throw it
I was
out
just
there.
trying to think of what would I actively want to get rid of at any given time.
Like, this isn't for you guys. This is I just got to get rid of this.
I think just like you get like a really cheap bag of like googly eyes and throw those.
That'd be good.
Because that could only just lead to fun stuff later. Like you're leaving, 2 hours later, you're leaving the venue and you just see them like all over the walls as you walk out.
Yeah, and the venue loves it. They're like, thank God.
The venue's so happy.
I feel like if I throw them, I want them to stick to their faces like everything everywhere all at once. Okay, we got a free katana, guys. Let's not blow this.
Perhaps you are meant to be the victor.
What did he say? Perhaps I missed this.
He's gonna give Kung Lao a chance to fight
Like,
Shao Kahn.
perhaps you're supposed to win.
Because remember, originally he knows that Liu Kang beat Shao Kahn, but he's like, well, that can't happen, right? So maybe his best friend can do it.
So we've seen this like in 3 different shots now. In the background, I don't know if we'll see it again, but in the background of the scene, there's somebody that looks like Smoke in his Mortal Kombat 1 classic outfit.
Yeah.
And it always bothers me because they're just using him as like a random NPC to fill space, but it's like, you should not be here right now. You're already here on the other side of the stage.
He's like, I was gonna be here, but they said they already have a gray ninja, so I don't know. I'm here.
I'm random Lin Kuei number 4.
If you need me though, if Smoke dies, I'm here. I've been training.
This was a fight that we got stuck on earlier.
Yeah, the Deadly Alliance.
Yeah. Is that really what they are? They are the Deadly Alliance?
Yeah, like the game named after them was because they decided to team up. Because they weren't a team. They were just like, oh, they're the 2 evil sorcerers of NK. And then they wised up one day and were like, hey, what if we just teamed up? Because we both hate Liu Kang, and they're the 2 that killed Liu Kang and had him become a zombie for a while.
That's one of those things.
They're kind of like if you're a wrestling fan and you were a big fan of the Attitude Era, they were like the 2-man power trip of Mortal Kombat. Instead of Triple H and Stone Cold, it was Quan Chi and Shang Tsung. That one game where
that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, the one way that it was really shocking when the Deadly Alliance really beat the hell out of Lita and the Hardy Boys. It was pretty wild. Yeah. Okay.
It's one of those things that I just accepted that the game was called Deadly Alliance and never really thought much beyond that. Like, what do those words actually mean? It's like, oh, it's 2 people getting together. That makes sense.
Yeah. Have you never had a Deadly Alliance with someone?
Not that I can remember.
I do kind of miss the subtitled age of like Mortal Kombat titles because you get fun stuff like Deadly Alliance. Deception is a great title for that game. Like when you consider the whole story mode of Conquest, and then Armageddon, like they already ruined Annihilation, so they just had to go with another one.
Ed Boon still holds a grudge over that.
But then they just go back to nothing for here, and then just X, which was weird, and then 11. Not Roman numeral 11, but just regular 11. And then 1. I just don't. The next one has to be a word, right?
It's got to be.
They're not going to call it 13.
They can't do what Call of Duty is doing now.
Oh my God.
They can't. We only need one of those mistakes. We can't do this again. Like MK1, sure. There technically isn't a game called Mortal Kombat 1, officially, so it technically works. But yeah, next game's got to have a subtitle.
What if they just spell combat with a C next time?
Okay, they can call it 2 then. if that's the like
It'll be Mortal
compromise.
Kombat with the 2 still, but with a C.
That's what, if Ed Boon ever retires, that's when they can do that. They can't do it.
They have to spell out the word 2 to make it different.
In the reveal, like it'll be like M, and then you'll see C, and then you'll see a 2, and everybody's gonna think it's Marvel versus Capcom. But then the dragon pops up.
And then they'll issue an apology 24 hours later.
I'd take Marvel versus Mortal Kombat.
Oh, I would love that.
All right. See,
that seems doable, right?
I mean, there's Mortal Kombat. I mean, Deadpool gets messed up all the time. He can get his head ripped off, and Wolverine.
But I mean, like, I think even beyond that, I'm thinking of like Warner Brothers Interactive, like. They did like some Lego Marvel stuff, right, didn't they? Like, they have touched the Marvel universe, right?
I mean, I guess it's just Lego Marvel, right? In those games.
But even, yeah.
Lego's like the only middleman. That's how you get it to happen. Is you got to get Lego involved. So if we made a Lego Mortal Kombat game,
game.
I'd play Lego Mortal Kombat.
No, just a Lego fighting game, because then you could have the Lego Batman stuff, you could have the Lego Star Wars stuff.
The Ghostbusters are in it. The what was that? Lego Dimensions that had all the IP. Yeah, like just do that, but a fighting game. So you can have like GLaDOS fight. I don't know. Jack Sparrow.
Beetlejuice. Right.
Quan Chi.
Round 3.
Come on, Kung Lao, you gotta get your stuff together here, buddy. You got a hat. Isn't that enough?
You got a hat, you got a teleport, you got the game's only down kick, I think.
Oh, right in the skull and the balls. Great.
Those are important body parts.
Yeah, they are.
I like how the hat just like flies at the screen constantly and it teleports back to his head, I guess.
I wonder if the players that get really into this ever like instinctively try to duck. Do you ever like play video games with someone like, especially when it's racing games, where they like move the controller as you're steering like this, and you're like, you don't need to do that, but that's just the thing that they do.
Yeah.
That seems like they would duck. I'm like, oh, hat.
VR has gotten me a couple of times where like I'll be playing. Like when I first started playing, like I'll expect you to die, and you have to like you're holding like a wrench and a knife in your hands and doing something in a car, and like I drop the knife and then immediately move my leg out of the way in the chair because I don't want to stab myself. Like, oh wait, no, that's not there.
Yeah, that's some good self-preservation on display. Again, I don't know how you. What part of the Shaolin monk training do you learn how to do that? But
the Doctor Strange part.
Oh, okay. He when he teaches a guest class one day, it's like an elective. If you want to take the teleporting elective, you can go. Which I don't know why you wouldn't. But.
Has there been a dedicated, I guess, like Marvel fighting game, like Injustice style?
Just Marvel and nobody else.
Yeah.
There's side scrollers.
There was that. Well,
they were like the Avengers 2D side scrollers. They were like beat 'em ups, but they weren't like
X-Men
versus each other.
Maybe the closest was, remember Marvel Nemesis: Rise of the Imperfects?
Oh no, that counts, frankly.
Because the Imperfects were also like created for that game, so it wasn't so much a crossover because they had to make up those characters for the game. So it's like kind of the closest we've gotten to just like a pure Marvel fighting game.
Just a Marvel fight, yeah. Oh boy, what disappointment that game was.
Yeah, I was really excited. Me and my brother were pretty excited for that game, and he rented it, and it was like, never mind. That's one of those games. I have a handful of memories because from working at GameStop when a highly anticipated game came out, and you could tell like within hours that it was like, nope, bad. You know, and that was one of them where like people were like bringing it back and seeing if they could return it and stuff, and you know. Yeah, I'm trying to remember when I worked at GameStop, what big release was that? I think
Driver 3 was another big one. I remember people really.
Can you say it properly, please?
Oh, excuse me, Drive 3R.
There, thank you. There you go.
But that was another one I remember people coming back within a couple of hours. You know, in there early. Oh yeah, I'm so excited for this to come out. I can't wait. A couple hours later, hey, is this? Can I return this? Like,
how much trade credit can I get for this?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to.
Yeah, Nemesis Marvel Imperfects was another one of those kinds of games for sure. People were really underwhelmed by it.
I think I worked in GameStop when Destiny 1 launched. Like I did, that was my first midnight launch was that game.
Sure.
And I think that was one where people kind of like, I don't think it was like an in mass thing, but it was more people than I thought, given all the hype for that game.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'd say like within a couple days, people were like, actually, thought this was gonna be something more.
I was one of those people. I was really, really excited for Destiny. I actually went to Bungie when because it leaked, if you'll remember.
Yeah.
And I went to Seattle, and they had a big showcase, and they showed the game, and I was like, this is something special. I think this is going to be cool. And then in the beta, I remember playing the beta, and they were, ooh, this is not a Kyle game. And I've never looked back since. I played 2 a little when it first came out, and I was like, yeah, no, this is they didn't make this one for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I was there day 1 too. Like I bought my copy at the midnight launch and
Right.
beat it, and yeah, same thing. I'm like, oh, this shooting feels great because it's Bungie, but like, yeah, I mean, we all know the story. Destiny 1. But, you know, it eventually got there with the Taken King or whatever, but
yeah, no, it's got its fans. I work with lots.
Too much better. I had a lot more fun with my time with it. Not having as much fun with Quan Tree taking over my mind.
That is cool, the sort of zombie.
I like that he just makes him walk like he's Frankenstein too, with his arms out. Like he can't just walk over normally. He's like, no, you have to go all the way.
You
like
have to look stupid while you do it.
Yeah. That's part of the move. You gotta look stupid.
Oh! No wonder Liu Kang
He
got
does have
killed.
like a little bit of humiliation in his attacks, like the way that he just drops down and steps on your face and stuff.
Yeah, which some people would be into, so it might not be as humiliating as you think, but
yeah, there's a lot of people getting stepped on in this game. That in the internet age of 2023.
that would have been the
Really
subtitle for this game, Mortal Kombat,
Yeah.
getting stepped on.
With a G-E-T-T-I-N apostrophe, right?
Yeah. Maybe Ed Boon's just a big Kirk Franklin guy. He's just a stomp. You know? Oh, that was a nice combo.
Nice. There you
That's
go.
good.
I was happy with that one. Oh, what the? Oh, okay. I was like, well, the heavens came down on me as I was talking about God's property. Get him.
Oh, they keep switching out right
They're
before they're about
doing,
to die.
I know, they're doing it really strategically, too.
They're a good team. That's why they make such a good alliance.
That's why they killed Liu Kang, man.
I would say a deadly alliance.
You're right. They're both about to die, though. They're about to be the dead alliance.
Dead past tense alliance.
Yes. This is it in parentheses on the box.
It's like a song title, right? Come on,
It's like, if I
Marcus.
lose this, he's the only one there. All right. Oh, I still have
There
another
you go.
round. I just remembered. I still have one more round.
Round 3.
So you should be able to keep that leftover health. You know, you earned it.
Or they just like, I keep that health, but I also get a full health, so I have like overshield basically.
Yeah. Do it. Why not?
It's like they have 2 people. That's the least you could do. Yeah, nah, not today, sir. Get out of that hole. Grab him. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. That was nice.
That.
Marcus, do you have trouble? I like weirdly have trouble with fighting games where if I'm like on the right side of the screen, I find it harder. Are you pretty ambidextrous, so to speak? Or?
I definitely. It used to be worse when I was younger. I was like married to the left side or default side. I'm better at it now. It sort of depends on the character, I think.
Right.
Yeah. What about you,
I
Chris?
think I'm a little bit of the opposite of that, honestly, because there were like, I had friends that were older than me a lot growing up, and so I was very often the one who was the second player controller for a long time. So I kind of got used to being on the non-default side.
That is the unofficial name for that side is the little brother side.
Come now.
Like, nope, you're
The
over there.
LBS.
So,
Yes! Kung Lao, baby. I'm the
And
champ.
now, like, whenever me and my son play a fighting game together, like, he makes us sit on whatever side, like, that we're on. So, even if like, he wants to be first player, he'll go and move to the other side of the room.
Oh, okay.
Who's this guy?
This is Kintaro.
So he's a cat version of the four-armed guy?
Basically, like same race, but sort of like a different like species of them or whatever, like another clan.
Yeah,
he did it.
He's a subsection of the Shokin.
Yeah.
People. He took over when Goro died.
Yeah, like he filled Goro's role in Mortal Kombat 2. And I remember at the time being like, whoa, another Goro, but he's kind of like a tiger man. But this game, they really leaned into the feline features. Like, in the old games, he just kind of looked like
he had more like horns and stuff in Mortal Kombat.
Like, he had the stripes, but he kind of just looked like a buffer Goro with stripes. But in this game, they were like, I don't know, what if he was like a cat man?
So Goro, like, he canonically died in 2? Whoa, jeez.
He canonically died in the original Mortal Kombat.
The original,
when,
okay.
Yeah, when Liu Kang killed him.
Yeah.
Or I guess Johnny Cage.
Well, Liu Kang's into the...
Your canon of choice.
That's true. In the movie Johnny Cage, which is one of the best scenes ever. Oh boy, I don't know why I waited for that.
Is what I think really happened, just because it's a great scene.
Yeah, you're almost like, we should just retroactively just say it was Johnny Cage.
Okay.
It'll give him purpose for being there. Like, otherwise, why is Johnny Cage there?
Yeah, like one of the other characters has to win something of significance.
Oh.
Yeah, four-armed cat time indeed, Changeling. Did you guys want a four-armed cat? Oh, I guess they already have four limbs.
I have a four-armed cat. I think I have 3 of them.
Oh yeah, now that I think about it. Well, I guess he has 6
like
limbs. Technically, he
yeah.
has 6. Yeah.
Back legs, front legs.
Like, what if your cat had 4 front limbs? Would that be all right with you guys?
I just worry about how much more stuff they would be able to climb and throw around the house.
Yeah, right. That's true.
That's 50% more mayhem.
They could knock so many more things off your bedside table.
Look, orange flavor pop. I corrected myself. I wasn't technically wrong. They're arms, not legs. Oh no!
Yeah, I guess, actually, in retrospect, I guess a 4-armed cat would be like a normal cat, like so it would be like 8 limbs total, right? Because they have 4 legs, so that 4 arms.
Wait, what?
That wouldn't touch the ground.
God, this is starting to be like a very disturbing.
There's a Photoshop out there with that. Does the tail count as a limb too?
Does the arms, do they go from the belly area to the head area, or are they like down the back?
They're like sticking out the shoulders, right? I think, right?
Okay. Spider.
Yeah, like a spider cat. Oh god. So I've arrived at the conclusion that I don't want that, Marcus, after asking your original question a couple minutes ago.
Just talk yourself out of it. Dang it! Oh, no.
Oh, nice.
It's like scarier because his jump isn't as instant as Shiva's, but it's scarier because of that. Since he has the delay, he kind of has time to adjust to where you are. So you kind of have to keep moving. Oh, you're posing, huh? Not today, buddy.
Get it while he's posing. Oh,
yeah, posing today.
So why did they name him Cat Taro? I guess he's more cat-like now than he was in the past. Is that what you guys were saying?
Well, listen, come on. Mortal Kombat is not that on the nose, Kyle. I don't know what kind of series you think this is. I mean, yes, we have our lizard man named Reptile, but let's just...
Because the ice person's power, his name is Sub-Zero. Like, it's not...
Yeah, and the water guy is Rain.
Well, and he's purple.
Flame Prince.
I like that move you're doing, Marcus, where you kick him out of the sky. That's pretty cool.
He's got to get in the sky first. Here, have another uppercut. There you go.
Yeah.
You should have X-rayed him, man, to finish it out.
Oh, did I have one? I do.
Yeah. He was posing, you could have X-rayed him.
Hey, Kung Lao, really soaking it in. Oh, taking his hat off and everything.
Well, this is probably
See, Raiden?
This is it, credits, right?
Oh!
That just looked like chiropractic. That didn't seem like bad.
He was just trying to help him out.
I will strip the flesh from your bones.
Oh, look at that tackle.
No, I guess not. I won't. Sorry. I changed my mind.
You know what? I overreacted. I'm sorry. I was just upset.
I think I had the same reaction when I first saw it. It's like, just Kung Lao just dead instantly without warning. Yeah, I mean, that's got to be a callback to Johnny Cage's death in Annihilation, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's got to be, right? So, Kyle, in the beginning of that movie, famously, Johnny Cage dies immediately the exact same way by Shao Kahn. And it's pretty much the first sign that that movie's going to be a disaster, because he's like maybe the best character in the first movie. He's like the really entertaining comic relief, and then within like 5 minutes of the second one, they kill him off.
And the weirdest part is that he is one of only like 2 or 3 returning actors. Like,
no, it wasn't him. It was somebody else.
Oh, did they?
No, yeah, the only one they got back was Liu Kang and Kitana. They recast them too.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
So they remember what new Johnny looked like then.
They got someone that looked close enough, but like his voice was different. Like he sounded less cool for like the 3 lines that he had before he died.
I wonder if it was like, because it's not like the actors were like in the first movie were like huge celebrities or anything.
Oh,
right?
Christopher
like,
Lambert. He was
but like
he was rating.
Did he? But he got recast.
Oh yeah, they got some other guy that was not nearly as good.
So did they just slash the budget like
oh,
crazy?
Absolutely.
Yeah, they had no budget.
Yeah, like that. If you watch the movies back to back, Annihilation looks like a made-for-TV movie. Like it is a significant downgrade.
The first one was a hit. I wonder why they were so hesitant about the sequel. I don't know.
Listen, Kyle, we ask a lot of questions about that sequel.
Kind of want to watch it now. What if that's the only Mortal Kombat movie I watch?
I will say that movie is redeeming as a so bad it's good. I think you got to watch the first one like before you to really appreciate how much of a like downgrade it is.
I am sensitive to the no bad it's good thing, because like there's a lot of movies that people say that about, and then they're just not good. You know what I mean? Like I don't really get a lot of joy out of just watching a bad movie for the sake. You know, I don't really. I don't get a lot out of just like laughing at how bad something is.
Oh, I do.
But there are movies that are like. So that I think that rings true. So bad it's good, but like I think people throw that qualifier around a little too much sometimes.
So I've watched Annihilation more times than it deserves because it is just entertaining how much of a train wreck it is. Like it is so corny and cheesy and just so many odd decisions that they make in that movie.
A lot of really like unnecessarily bad CG even for the time, where it's like if this is what you could do, you should have just not done it. Like,
yeah, like I would love to be a fly on the wall for those like meetings and like writing sessions of like, yeah, what if we introduce Sindel with no context whatsoever, despite her being a big character, and then she gets beaten off screen. Like we built her up as a big thing, and then she's defeated off screen. It's like, what? Did we run out of time? What happened? That's just one example, but like, so you like.
You know what's cool though? Is that if you do like the original Mortal Kombat movie, they have which is the official novelization of the Mortal Kombat movie. I have a thing where I love reading official novelizations of like either video games or movies, and this is super interesting because almost all novelizations like it's based on the script, like not the final edit, but all the stuff that was cut out of the original movie. And there's so much stuff in like the first 20 minutes of the Mortal Kombat movie that I guess was cut for time, but like about Liu Kang's brother, about like why Sonya and Jax are in a weird, creepy, like underground rave thing. And if you're interested, it's a really good movie, and it's super cheap.
Oh boy. It's old. Shao Kahn. He's tough.
So I'm looking at trivia about Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and apparently in separate 2012 interviews, Mortal Kombat co-creators Ed Boon and John Tobias hated the film so much they considered it the absolute worst experience in all the years they spent working on the Mortal Kombat franchise. So that was the one that they're like, that almost broke us.
I mean, it's their Mario movie. The first Mario movie, I mean.
What's going on with John Tobias? Why isn't he involved in Mortal Kombat anymore? Just backed out?
He stopped really carrying around like the after Mortal Kombat 4-ish. He started acting away. He did that, if you remember that fighting game that it actually had a kind of like a precursor to the X-ray mechanic. But it started with a T. It was the one where you could like it would do the X-ray like zoom in on if you broke a bone in people's body. I'm gonna see what that was.
That was a good call out to Fight Club. So that game.
I was joking about Fight Club, but that was a weird thing about Fight Club, the Fight Club fighting video game that people were
Yeah.
into.
Which, like, that was awful.
I remember the written GI review, and I think it was like a 2 or a 3. Like, it was an abysmal score. Shao Kahn, the problem with Shao Kahn is that you can't combo him because he has that ability to just tank attacks. So it can throw off your timing because you'll hit what you think would stun or send them back, but it doesn't, and then it leaves you open. So you'll do like an uppercut, and it doesn't lose him at all, and then you're like, oh crap, I'm vulnerable now.
He invented the super armor that is widely in use in all the Mortal Kombat games since.
Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
like,
yeah, John Tobias' last game was Cao Fang, Fist of the Lotus. And that was for the original Xbox.
Oh, I remember that game. I think it got recalled.
wait, what? Why?
Because it had controversial music in it.
Controversial music? What does that mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Just like the Nintendo thing where they had to change the chants in the Fire Temple.
We had the band.
Oh, I must be thinking of a different game. Yeah, maybe not that one. Is this the one that... No, okay, I must be thinking of a different game. I remember there was a game that former editor-in-chief Andy McNamara in the review wrote that he was able to beat it with his butt because he was sitting on the controller and just like moving around. But it wasn't Cao Fang, it was a different game.
That's fantastic.
I wonder what that... Yeah, gosh, now I'm gonna... It was an Xbox fighting game, though.
It is cool how there've been like it does seem like all the big fighting games like had a resurgence at the same time. You know, like we had Street Fighter and then Mortal Kombat, and then we're getting Tekken like early next year.
I'm taking a distance approach because I'm
it's
about
working.
to die, and I'm just gonna wait for him to pose and throw stuff and hope that he doesn't do stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
Oh wait, he's not. What?
Oh,
it was. Oh, if I would have died. If I would have died there. That almost. Also, Commander Cool. It was Kabuki Warriors, the game that Andy beat with his butt. I remember that now.
So the game,
Kabuki
I don't know if
Warriors.
it's, is that what it was? Kabuki Warriors was the one that
yeah.
Andy. Okay, so the one that I was thinking of is, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but it's Kakuto Shojin Back Alley Brawl, and it was recalled. It was pulled off of shelves in 2003 due to accusations of containing offensive religious content. The recall allegedly stemmed from the Quran verses chanted in the background of a theme song for Middle Eastern character Assad, and then apparently. The company was pressured into destroying unshipped units of the game containing the chant, and attempted to reissue the game as an amended product. It's a weird one. And no members of the Mortal Kombat development team were involved in that game.
What? He take my bicycle kick? Oh, that's not cool. I don't like that.
Oh, he's pointing at you.
Yeah, he's saying it's official. You suck. Which is actually what he says.
Like, really?
Like, verbatim.
Yeah, like
it's official. You suck.
Yeah, he said not all the time, but every night, like almost a semi-Easter egg, but he'll say it every now and then, and that goes back to that goes back to Mortal Kombat 3.
On your feet.
Or Mortal Kombat 2, actually, maybe too, in the boss fight with him.
Oh, you broke his little helmet.
And he really likes that. You can see his face.
Is he like? Is he really handsome?
It's a handsome,
like a good-looking guy.
Yeah, it's a handsome Squidward situation. Fire punch!
Oh no, that's where he keeps his stomach.
Look at that face. Ah! He should do the Thanos and be like, should have gone for the head. And then snap his neck.
and then die.
Yeah.
I want to see his face. Did you not see his face in the original games? This is like a big...
You do see his face
moment.
eventually, I think, in this game.
But I mean, did you never see it before this game?
Not in the old games. There was a comic series where you saw his face. That was the first time I'd ever seen it. The old MK comic.
I think that was one of the big mistakes of the movie also was that they showed his face.
Not only they show his face,
in the entire movie.
Like he was in his helmet like twice. And the guy that played him didn't look scary. Like, he just looked like a kind of like a cheap Vin Diesel.
Cheap Vin Diesel. Vin gasoline.
Vin regular.
Which I think Diesel is actually cheaper, so that joke doesn't really work.
Yeah. But most people get, you know, you get only cool people get Diesel.
That's right.
Our triumph was not.
I had a friend that had a Volkswagen Beetle that he only put diesel fuel.
It just seems like makes life so hard, probably.
It seemed to work out, I guess, for him.
You needed to defeat Shao Kahn, not Shang Tsung.
Maybe.
So Raiden's his whole plan it didn't work then. Okay.
Yeah, because it's still cracking. He thought maybe. Yeah, at first he thought he was in the clear of like, oh, maybe it meant lose the Shang Tsung but beat Shao Kahn, but clearly not.
If I would have just told myself a name.
Damn myself.
Credits. There's a dog there with them? Oh no, that's okay. Sorry, the screen is small that I'm watching on. That's a person or a minute centaur.
Yeah, centaur.
He made it. Good for him. Just got a little bit of a limp.
I guess you limp when you.
Hold on, guys. Let me walk this.
Put my heart back together.
He's got to do
gotta walk this off.
He's got to do the wrestling trope and get taped ribs.
Yeah.
There may yet be an alternative emperor.
Yeah, how did he? Did he? Oh, I guess he healed him, but like nobody made sure to confirm the kill. Like the good guys, they just leave and be like, yeah, he's probably dead.
I mean, I don't really blame them.
He punched through his chest. Fairly fatal.
I mean, blood came out of his mouth. That's the telltale sign. We all know that.
Should have gone for the head.
The safeguards afforded by the elder gods through Mortal Kombat are but fiction.
So we're pretty much in MK3 now.
So Earthrealm could not suffer as
okay. So are we 2/3 through the game? Is that or like?
This is kind of the last bit.
The last bit,
roughly, yeah.
And with it,
they're actually coming up on a. This might be a good stopping point actually after this cutscene or whatever.
Oh, boom! Sir Daniel Fortescue.
Or is that Spinal from Killer Instinct?
That'd be pretty awesome, actually.
I think this is a joke callback to the stage from Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 where Cyrax was like stuck out in the desert.
Right.
So this is like a guy that they're bringing back to life?
Yeah.
Or a lady?
It's kind of like, you ever watch The Mummy? How Imhotep gradually gets his body back.
Yeah. Oh, he's ready to fight. Oh, I recognize her. Okay, because she's got the Lady Frankenstein here.
Yeah.
Is she someone's wife?
So it's Sindel, who is
right.
Yeah.
She wears purple as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm an expert.
She does like purple.
Kitana now allies herself with Earthrealm.
And they need
also
her.
A very royal color.
She is no longer my
She's strong, so they need her or something.
So yeah, she's Katana's mom, like actual birth mom, but
she's a Katana mama.
She's a she's a Katana mama. But she died a long time ago, and Quan Chi brought her back, but kind of made her evil because she's really powerful. They're like, oh, what if we brought back the old queen and sort of made her our pawn? So that's why they're like, oh, by the way, Katana's with those guys we don't like, so that's bad. She's like, oh yeah, I ain't got no daughter no more. Oh man, what a great place to stop, the Striker chapter. Look at Earth. So yeah, the plot of MK3, roughly, Kyle, is that after losing the second tournament, Outwar's like, screw it, we're just gonna invade Earth anyway.
Okay.
Well, that was the excuse for Sindel. They were like, that Sindel was Shao Kahn's like backup plan, where if he lost Mortal Kombat enough times, he buried his dead wife in Earthrealm so that Shang Tsung could then raise her, and then he'd be like, well, listen, I'm just coming in to get my wife. And then he comes in and takes over anyway.
JK, I want more.
It's like a very elaborate but also very simple plan on the server. Like, oh yeah, I just gotta. I left my bag. Let me go get my bag.
Yeah, no, just leave this door open. I'll just prop it open.
It's like when you.
Oh, these
run
guys all
by
need this army of people. They're with me. I need them. I need them to do this.
Ninja.
Guns don't work. No, not that guy.
Not Ponytail.
Kind of looks like Dan from Street Fighter, actually.
It's you and me, freak show.
All right.
You guys got a hell of a jaw.
All right, well, we'll stop it here. We'll have to wait till next week to see the epic conclusion of Stryker versus Reptile. But yeah, made a lot of good progress this week. Like I said, we're in the last, I guess, game that they're covering, and this is gonna lead up to the very big finale. There's I think you alluded to it earlier, Chris, but there's a very big moment coming up that I'm excited to relive, and I'm excited for you to experience for the first time, Kyle. That's gonna be pretty exciting. But yeah. Chris, thanks for joining us, dude. You want to let people know where to find you, and feel free to plug anything that you're working on.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, thank y'all. Number one, thank y'all for having me. I really appreciate it. I love Mortal Kombat, as you can tell, and I love this game a lot. So it's always fun to talk about it. You can find me on Twitter at Chris Teuton. You can find me on Screen Rant, doing stuff and helping people write stuff and reviewing video games. I think the last review I did was for Mortal Kombat 1, and then Armored Core 6 before that. But yeah, I'm around.
Nice.
Thank you all for having me. I appreciate it.
I like a plug that's I'm around. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna steal that. I think.
Just find me. It's fine. We'll do stuff.
Yeah.
There you go. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for new subs. Check out the archive of this on YouTube, and shout out to everyone watching this on YouTube right now. Feel free to leave a comment. Let us know what you think. And visit GameInformer.com for all of our online features and all of our work, because we are also around, Kyle and I, as well as all the other.
Yeah, find me at Around. Yeah.
Yeah, around.com. So yeah, have a great weekend, everyone. We'll be back next week with part 4 of Mortal Kombat 9. See you then.
Bye.